Alrighty, welcome to Nycos. This is Whispers in the Mist. Today's episode, Extending the Domain. I'm here with my usual suspects, and we'll have them introduce themselves in a moment. But gander and gaze upon the wonder of the hex that they have been granted, and that is what we are in the process of filling in and determining the layout, terrain, and such like of their granted landholding. And that was land holding, not hand holding, nor was anything similar to a railway at all in any sort of fashion.
Hey, don't put it in my land.
Okay.
Wait, okay, I'll put it in my land though.
Great, that's just what we need. Alrighty, so we'll go into the actual details of our story so
There we
far.
go.
Great, that's just what we need is a divided kingdom. Yes, more monsters. There we go. So let's have you guys introduce yourselves. Name, character, name, class, race, and uh, what you imagine you see out of your holdings windows.
We're having some heavy billowing today.
Let's move in front of it. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Um, okay, I'll start.
Sure.
I'm on the top of the stack of pictures. I'm
Okay.
Tiara Sun. I'm Jean Acker. I play Tiara Sunfire, an Azamar divine soul sorcerer with a touch of cleric, which I might be erasing. And and out of the castle Sunfire, which we found in the northwestern part of the our lands, our co-rulership lands. Um, I see forests and hills and leftover, shall we say, bulwarks where people were had pulled back defending, I guess, the castle against whatever was attacking them. Off to the southwest, there's a large force
No, I
that
just
will
meant what you see out your window. I'm not worried about all the terrain in the area. I just what do you see out your window? Straight ahead. If you just look out your window.
ruins, things that need to be repaired, bulwarks that need to be smoothed over or reinforced just in case. Um,
Okay.
maybe some of the brownies working around the castle.
Next.
Um,
Yep. Thanks. Next. Looks like Alabaster's next.
I'm Alabaster not, and when I look out my window, if I have one, I see the most beautiful view ever. Absolutely nothing.
because he has no
Builds
window.
he builds his house so that it faces a concrete or a brick wall. That way he sees nothing when he looks out. Nice.
Aye, it's beautiful.
I am Fishy Cats, the Forever King. And when I wake up in
Aye,
the
you're
morning,
not but a prince.
what?
You're a prince, or we're co-princes. We're co-rulers.
Aye, we're princes.
We were called kings.
No,
No, that's different.
Oh, we're not kings.
We're not
no.
kings.
King is a title you have to take to yourself and usually requires you to defend. At this point, you've
Aye,
been granted princeship by
it
the
also means that you rule your territory ubiquitously.
right
We
What?
have princedoms
System. All
within
right,
a
principalities.
kingdom.
Principalities.
Forever Prince.
Is there principalities like the Principality of Monaco?
Monaco.
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 No, just
Monaco.
we'll just call the Forever King my casino's name.
Okay.
For all right, I'll go for Prince. I'll change the name. I just want to mess around with the name.
Oh, this is the broad stair, isn't it? You can call it that, by the way.
Yes,
That's
it leads downwards and
Down, down to Goblin Town, down, down to Goblin Town. You go, my lad. You ho ho, my lad.
yes. So that's where we are. Is basically outside of the broad stair.
Okay.
I rechanged my name, and I think that'd be a cooler name for a casino.
Fishy cat. The what?
The Sleepy Cat.
The sleepy cat. Okay. We call this place Label.
Label.
Now I have a question. Are we divided in four or three?
Three? Oh,
We're
four.
not divided.
Not divided.
United we stand.
Then how can we claim a share of it?
We're sectors.
Sectors of the hex are
Sector.
ours.
Well, more like little circles that's intertwined in one giant circle. We
If
need
what
a
you're asking
rule.
is whether or not you have this split three ways or four, you have it split four because uh, Birdie was there. Birdie has a share.
Okay.
Even if he's off chasing his tail right now, he's still
Okay. So I go from the castle straight down to the middle and then straight across in half that lake.
no. There's no as yet. We haven't done any division.
Okay.
We have described. We're still only describing terrain features. We are not
Okay.
yet determining any delineations within this realm. This realm is currently ruled by four princes.
Okay.
There is no yours versus mine aspect to it at all.
I hope not. Ever.
Agreed.
Let's never think that way.
Okay. I guess.
17.
If for example, Sunfire Keep wished to extend its borders northbound and then claim that area as independent territory, that would probably
Well,
be an issue. But I mean, that could be pursued, but then you'd be utilizing collective assets to do so. Unless you raise your own private army, which leads to all kinds of internal stuff that you guys need to work out.
I like to annex the Sudetenlands.
Exactly.
yeah.
It depends on what's there.
That's right.
Nothing
We haven't gone any further yet.
currently.
Well, I've got to make sure that we're not the Tamakians are south, right? We
No,
don't
the
know.
Tarmakians are all around us now because they spread out and filled the valley.
Right. They're actually building their own little villages and towns across this plain because they are grazing animals. They harvest grain just like anybody else.
So
And then
if we do spread and conquer, which I don't know why we would be conquering Tarmakian land.
Well, not towards the mountains.
No.
Gene, the whole valley.
No, wait.
No, she
To
means
the
beyond
northeast,
beyond
beyond
the
the.
mountains. That's what she's referring to.
No, it's not. It's in the same valley.
Right. No.
Okay.
Okay. We're talking three different subjects. Tiara is talking about expansionism beyond the hex.
Yes.
That's the only direction of expansionism because this valley is. You are the rulers of it, but there are beings that live here now that came out of the mountain, the Tawarmaks, who are building their own. They will be building their own physical communities within this space. So
Okay.
we haven't even mapped out any of the routes that they will be building. We've only so
Wait.
far been
Not-
circumnavigating it.
Not in this land. They spread out and took all the other hexes of the Cursed Vale.
Yes, south and west of you. Yes,
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
right.
I
I
don't
was
think any of
looking
them settled
northwest.
here.
I was looking northwest and was wondering what's that direction, but I
Again,
don't know because I
Again,
don't know.
we have to. You'd have to do more exploration. We haven't even finished exploring this one hex yet.
I know. We're continuing on. We are now out this entrance downwards.
Where?
I
At the
think
broad stair.
we are at the broad stairs that are leading downwards with a gentle slope.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I see it.
So they're kind of like deep and very shallow. I mean, like horses could go up
They're
and down them.
wide and shallow. They're not very
Wide
deep,
and
but they're
shallow.
wide.
Should we like blow it up or something?
No, we don't even know what's there.
What are
Why
you
would you?
talking? Why are you looking outside our borders? We don't even know what's here yet.
I'm saying let's go. We're at this
No,
place. Let's go. That's where we
no.
left off.
Where?
Right here where the
Stair
the
is.
the stairs are going down. Look where our trail ends.
Right.
I know that.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was saying, why don't we find out what's down there?
After you.
Okay.
Shoot.
So put up a light and start down.
Well,
Righty.
have fun down there.
Go,
Oh,
my
after
lad.
she
Ho ho, my lad.
after she throws up magic armor.
After she throws up. Hooah!
Alabaster holds her hair. I like a good friend should.
Oh my God, is she pregnant?
Not me. My God, that is.
Those Czechmarkians work fast.
Wow. Wow.
That
Oof.
was totally unnecessary.
Well, there's
I'm
only three of
sorry.
you, so you can't be the uncalled for. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right. Anyway, so
Oh, I hate you. That was so good. That was good. I'm sorry. I just caught it.
okay,
What?
Slow,
the uncalled
What?
for.
uncalled for.
Yeah.
Wait,
Okay.
I hear something.
Yes.
Ring a ring.
Yeah.
Ring ring.
No,
Oi,
it
we've
goes.
been called to
Da,
serve.
da, 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 da.
Nice. Okay. So anyway, as you descend the stair, you make roughly 4 or 5 circuits. You're not really sure how far before you get to a broad and apparently well fortified door. It looks more like a gate in that it is heavy oaken sections bound together with metal bars. The bolts through them are um, more than 4 inches across. So this is a big gate.
Wow.
Should we knock?
It is barred, locked, and bolted from this side.
Oh, well, that's good.
Well, maybe we shouldn't find out what's there.
Well, not yet.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a great picture.
Oi, well, it matches the
Description.
things that were outside.
Yep.
Hey, if you do you know clairvoyance?
No, I don't. I'm sorry. I don't.
Right.
It's
Right,
not
so
amongst the spells I've taken. Oh wait, but but
What? What?
a sorcerer knows all their spells, don't they?
clairvoyance.
Yeah, they have.
She looks at.
They have their whatever their spell list. They have it all. It's just that she gets to, if she wants to. I was confused. Is that a warlock or a sorcerer that then swaps out the base spells?
It's uh I'm a sorcerer, but to the best of my knowledge, I can't. Usually, you can change like
Okay.
one spell.
No, yeah, it's
You
once.
need to read the book.
Yeah. Hey, thank you, Stephen. As soon as I know that you've read it, as soon as I know you've read it, that'll be valuable. Until then, physician, heal
I
myself.
think he's been doing. I think he's been doing very well.
He has been doing
needs,
extre-
like
no, no,
spells
no,
to
don't get me
use.
wrong, he's-
Clairvoyance. That was so perfect. I didn't even know clairvoyance worked that way.
Yeah, that was an extremely good spell to use.
Actually, I think the best one was last what night? Yesterday. That consecrate. No, that wasn't in our game.
Huh.
Thank
We
you
were
for
in a
bringing a
temp-
memory of a world that I don't even know. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Why they
Cheat
don't
on
have?
us. She's cheating on us.
Sorry, it was just that he happened to have consecrate, and we were in a temple to Tiamat, and he deconsecrated it, which
Okay.
took all the advantage
you
away
know
from the
clairvoyance?
clerics and fighters that were there.
Anyways, so we're down a staircase and we hit a wall.
Yep, and it's a gate that's locked on your side. So you could work
What
to unlock it.
what is the make of the gate?
It's oaken with steel bands and bars. It looks like a physical, like literally brute force tactics. We want to keep something in. We don't have any magics to seal it with, so just build a hell of a gate.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So it's
What?
barred from this side, not the inside.
That is correct.
So,
It's to keep something in, not necessarily not to lock you out.
well, without knowing what's in there, we don't know what they're trying to keep out. And but I don't think three of us are an
Well, okay.
adequate.
So give a quick comparison. There was another gate locking somebody out in this valley.
Oh, do you think it's another one to the Tarmakians?
That one was almost pure magic because it used that crystalline key you had to remake. Remember?
Oi.
So that gate was as magical and magically contrived as this is brute force. So this could be
Alabaster's going to do some heavy duty magic real quick.
okay.
Okay.
He's gonna go up and he's gonna call upon the deep magic. He's gonna knock.
Oh,
Knock,
monster,
knock, knock, knock,
monster,
knock, knock.
monster summoning one. I see. And tune summoning. I like that. Nice. You won't hear any response. They have no sense of humor.
Oi, they're evil. We don't want to mess with it.
Well, let's put it this way: it's certainly something to be explored and find out. But maybe
well,
somebody knows.
listen to the way I describe that though. If you listen carefully, you get a clue here. This is
Some-
as physically brute force locked as the other one was magically locked.
So it would be somebody
It's a
that
force
didn't
versus
maybe.
force, and it was a third party.
So it's a non-magical entity on the other side that can't use magic to open the door. Because that was why the Tarmoks, because they're magical, they got all those crystals and whatnots
Right,
in
right.
their city,
Right.
and they
So
got
it's
like
something else.
light stairs and stuff, which is totally going to be all over my section of this place.
Right.
But if we open the door to another group of some kind, like
Okay.
Does
Look
it
at
say
the
the
can-
side.
labyrinth anywhere?
You don't see any signs to say that, and there is no pedestal with a book. Unfortunately.
Oh no.
We might be able to ask the Tomakians what they know of this place. So I say now we leave it. Maybe if we can disguise the entrance so we don't
So
have.
put a pin in this, like you did the troll
Yeah.
keep, the troll
Yeah.
swamps.
troll area.
Well,
Like a
It's
swamp.
it's on the map now, so we know
Yeah.
it's there.
Yeah.
Maybe put your little skull mark because you don't know what it might represent, just like you did with the trolls.
That's a good
Yep.
idea.
That'll be
Uh,
our code for
That
So
or
friends
do you
don't
have
want
a
to mess with this.
you want a question mark? You can put a question mark there. We don't know what it is.
There we go. That's better.
That's a spooky one.
That's a spooky one. That works good.
Well,
Oh
where are
wait,
you
wait,
gonna
wait,
put?
wait, wait, wait! Got a better one. Got a better one.
Nah,
Yeah, that's one you used on the other one, isn't it?
I like the other one more, honestly.
Oh, the basic plain one.
No,
That one.
the
That one.
The,
I
the
like
other
it.
one's a compass. They're both compass roses though, and it's not over water, and
True.
it's fine.
Okay, fine.
I was just saying I like the one with the hoodie, the hood. I mean the banner. Well, I can't speak. Never mind. Continue.
Until you can say what you mean.
Don't say nothing. Wait. If you say nothing, then you're playing Alabaster. No, that's not true.
Okay, we will continue on.
Yes.
Where are we headed now? Towards the bridge or farther down to the lake?
Alabaster's got to know where his enemies are coming from.
Lake, I guess.
Yes. All right. So as you approach the lake, think Okefenokee or Ochikobe
What?
or whatever you want to call it.
Say again.
Okefenokee swamp.
It's marshy.
Another swamp?
Yes.
Why would it be a swamp instead of a nice lake?
Why
Because
would
we gotta make it
you,
into a nice
have you
lake.
been to a natural lake anywhere, Gene?
Yes, up
the,
in the Minnesota, North Dakota.
the mouth of those where the water comes in is either a really fast flowing river and is stopped by some physical dam that we put up. But I'm talking about a natural one almost always has a marshy backwater place because the land is low and flat leading into it. So that whole area
Called the delta.
is yes. So
Well, there was
it's
reeds and trees, but not necessarily.
All we
reeds
gotta
and
do,
trees and
is do
cypress.
a focusing dam.
Yes.
It's just a dam with, but it's a lateral dam, not a cross
It's
dam. So you
normally
just put,
normally normally known as levees. Levees or
yeah,
berms.
you focus on the river to come out of a single place instead of spreading out all over.
Right. So if you went upstream a ways and built a levee, you can drive the water in the way you want it to instead of letting it just
Okay.
fill this basin. So
We'll
there's a
call
lot
it
of
the
arable.
Chevy.
Arguably, there's a lot of arable, really fertile land here that's covered by this marshy, boggy material.
Yeah, that's what we have to do. We actually have to open up the other end, and so it
Let's get a
flows
ship.
better. No, we have to open up the other end to allow it to drain faster. We want some
Oh,
water left back, but
it's my.
some water to
Hey,
move on.
Terraforming in the
John,
Middle
Nibstel's
Ages.
magic aura is still in 5th edition.
Yeah.
It's a cleric spell.
Nistles is
Which
a
one?
clerical spell?
Yes, apparently.
Really?
It's an arcana cleric spell.
Yeah, that's a magic user spell.
Yeah, but it's not in the wizards or sorcerers handbooks. It's only in the clerical's handbooks for whatever reason.
That's bizarre.
Maybe it's because it's like a name from
What-
somebody, so they're like the power.
What level?
2.
Two.
What magic
That
is
means
it?
I could change out
Steven,
and
I
take
think I
it.
hear a little bit of your fan because I moved my fan. And I'm still hearing it. I moved my fan, so it's not producing.
Sorry. Give me a second.
It's pretty close, so it's pretty good. But I still hear it.
Oh.
I swear to God, do those sounds actually emanate from your muscle structure itself?
I think so.
Yeah.
No other human being on the planet does that, but when you physically move anywhere, you have to make an audible noise. Was
It's
that,
awful.
Sorry, I was
Tra-
reaching across my desk.
Travis, you were reaching across your desk to get a soda, weren't you?
No, I was just grabbing a notebook that may or may not have all my character sheet in it.
Alrighty. So anyway, yeah, you found that the water's here. Also, you'll hear a lot of insect life. Those whirring and buzzing sounds, the clicking of crickets, and the
It go bump in the night.
Yeah.
it's the little stuff. It's the little annoying
Okay.
ones. It's
Yeah.
later.
All horrible things gather by the water.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
in it,
that's
mostly.
mainly because
Hey, I gather by the water though.
everything gathers by the water. That's why the creepy things come there, because there's something to feast on.
I see Alabaster kind of trunching through this marshy side part of the lake, and he accidentally steps in a puddle and goes ugh, and then he slaps his hands together with a big like lightning crack and just disappears the water.
Yeah, what's really funny is I can just see the water parting, but it's only parting in a puddle because that's all he's got the power to do right now. He can't,
Yep.
do a whole lake, so it's like, phew. Okay, good, thank you.
That one offended me.
Exactly. My boot got wet. How dare you? Worse than that, you can see that there are tear marks and slash marks on the flora, suggesting rather large things with claws have cut their way through here at times in the past.
Oh,
Are they going towards the water?
They're going parallel to the water, kind of following the same kind of course you are.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
Let's go
exactly.
check out this bridge.
That's exactly what I was hoping you would do. Let's not go this way. But anyway, in the process, you can determine that the groups of these foul things, whatever they are,
Damn it.
are in group. Ooh, the road completely vanished.
Yeah, I accidentally hit the Control Z before I fixed it, and
Don't you have a back arrow that you undo that? Undo the undo?
there you go.
Yeah, okay. So
Okay.
when you do finally make it to the edge of the lake itself, you kind of as you're pushing through, you have these hopes of coming out into a the beautiful mountain lake kind of thing. But what you find instead is that even from here, extending for some distance out into the water, are cypress growths and things like that. So there's mossy overhangs, and it's literally like you've reached the deep part of the uh, mouth of the headwaters of the Okefenokee, and the water itself is placid. There's very little in terms of a breeze at this point. Humidity is rising to maybe 55 to 60%. Temperatures are in the mid 80s. So all that nice heavy armor that's protective is rather uncomfortable and sweltering. Everybody's kind of got a bit of a pool forming in the most uncomfortable of places and such. It's just a fun time to be near the Dungeness. But from
Ah,
here, you can see the three separate towers of the Dungeness rising up out of the center. A small island rises between the branches of the cypresses, and you can see it has kind of that Irish fortification feel because of the moss and the greenness of the area, even though the temperature is closer
are you
to
sure the lake
tropical.
is that big? That's something like 7 miles by
Yeah,
21 or
yeah.
It's as big as it wants to be, Gene.
I don't like it that big. We're gonna have to do something about it. Think of all that
Why?
arable
I'll get to
land.
work right away.
Oh,
You
but
do that.
scan back out just a second. Scroll back a bit for her. I want her to see what we're talking about here. No, no,
What?
expand out. Zoom out is what I meant
Oh,
to say.
more?
No, zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out.
Okay.
Okay, Gene, how much arable land do you see there?
Oh, a lot. But swamp. I mean, you got the
You ever been to a lake in Kansas?
no.
Okay.
I passed through Kansas at night one on a way
Okay.
home trip.
Well,
So
remember,
even
this lake does border mountains on one side. So I can see it being naturally contained, at least on some sides.
right.
Yeah.
Not ours.
Hey guys, you hear a fan by chance?
No, you sound good.
Nope. Just
Excellent.
crickets.
And besides which, we haven't even put in tributaries. There's bound to be a lot of them feeding into that
There'd be
river.
so many I can't map them all. We're not going to sit and map. One thing I found from the small amount of study of cartography is that if you ever tried to map the actual coast of California, it's the actual length of the state would be greater than the circumference of the United States,
Hmm.
because there is no way to actually map all of those individual tributaries with a proper surveying equipment. So they always estimate how long the California coastline is. And that's true of every place.
Well, a thing about map making as well is that when you're doing it like this in this sort of setting, you always start with bigger and you kind of zoom in, and so the place will always get bigger and bigger and bigger the more you zoom in.
Right.
But realize each one of those little hexes is 7 miles across.
Realize, Gene, that it's a magical place, and who knows how big it is.
Well,
Oh snap!
And the amount of no, and the point is that if you tried to walk around a lake, it would take you a long time, and so 7 miles isn't untenable.
As far as I know, each one of these hexes is 49 miles. So
no, it's 7 miles. The whole thing is 49
no, no,
miles.
no. I think the rule is when there is a hex in Nycos, it is 49 miles.
That's the mega
That is
hex.
a nice, nice, nice.
Gene,
Way to go.
you're putting limits that we don't need.
There's no reason to
I
worry about the size of the lake. We're not. I'm not terraforming the planet. You
Okay.
guys can make changes if you want, but
It's at
mechanically,
least 14 miles long from tip to tip.
yeah, that's not untenable
No.
compared. You know,
That's huge.
Well, yes, but I'd like to be a freshwater lake rather not than a polluted swamp.
Why would it
no,
be a
it's
small
not
swamp?
all swamp. It's just describing the side you're coming in from.
Oh,
Just
okay.
this area, Gene, where there's like we're passing between a smaller pond on one side and water on the other. So this is a straight, basically over the water. So of course
Okay.
it's gonna be all marshy and mucky. Now, if you come over here, I'm sure this is nice, like beachy area because of all the rock and everything that
Yeah, there would
breaks
be.
off
There'd
from the
probably be some
mountains.
hills along there.
Just to give some number comparisons to make this easier for you, Gene, Lake Superior in the United States is 31,700 square miles.
Yeah, you could probably
The
stick
Great
this heck.
Salt Lake is 2,117 square miles.
I know this would drop right in the middle of it and be lost.
Utah Lake, which is still in Utah, is 151 square miles, and that's just a natural lake.
Yeah.
So when you're worried about the size, I'm looking at the top 100 largest lakes, and in Nebraska, which is close as I can find, I didn't look for a Kansas one. 56 square miles is comparable to this one that we're talking about right here.
Well, actually, this would probably be 7 by 21 if you took it bopping off where the edge is.
If we're gonna run the math on this, we could do this all day. But that's
Yeah, I know. I'm just getting an estimate.
No,
Okay.
if I look at while
you're
looking at this
I'm
map,
just saying you're coming into it with a perspective that's not warranted. Again,
I'm going to cancel my not spell for right now, just so we can move along.
you're gonna counter it. Okay, negate
Yeah,
it. Okay.
I'll turn it off.
Okay.
I have it on a concentration basis, so as long
Okay,
as
Okay.
I'm not concentrating, it happens.
Okay. So
Now, how are we going to have to camp? Have we traveled that far? If not, we keep traveling.
you're
Camping
gonna
the
keep
whole way.
You're gonna keep traveling. We've been traveling. I'm just describing what you're seeing so far.
So just to be clear, on the island before we move along,
Yes.
there were three towers.
Three towers. Set up in a triangular pattern around a structure that probably has 6 walls. Of course.
I was
Okay.
thinking, guys, like I could make my town.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, welcome to Nycos. Who is it?
It's an owner.
Oh,
It's the owner of Nycos, or it's the owner of Dungeness Keep checking in. Dun dun dun. Could be Birdie.
Womp womp
Somebody
womp.
in?
Welcome, whoever you are. Owner.
I have a sneaking suspicion.
Have you?
I do. It's sneaking right now though. I can't catch it.
who is it? Hello.
Who goes there?
We're afraid.
Well, anyways,
Is it?
Who can be an owner?
No, that's just the name they put up, Gene. You could put
Oh.
owner. You could put owner up.
I put owner of Nycos.
Anyway.
Okay. Uh,
So anyway, 3 towers in a triangular pattern make up the circumscribe the outside 3 corners of the 6-cornered fortification. It has a moat gate. There's the owner,
Dave.
and that's
I'm the owner.
truer words never were spoken. Holy crap!
Who is it?
Dave Peterson, one of my lifelong friends. As
Hi,
long
Dave.
as long as I've had a real life, I should say, right, Dave? I didn't actually
Right.
have a life before I met you.
Hi, Gene.
Hi, how are you? I heard him referring to you like Dave went out the gate and or something like that.
At 3 in the
And
morning, she was
That's
here.
Oh, okay.
She was watching us play a game and goes, "Who's that?" And I go, "That's Dave."
okay.
I'm sorry to interrupt, guys. Keep going.
No, I can imagine you guys are walking along and you see this guy. Probably, he's actually pouring the mud out of his boot. An older gentleman in a gray robe. Oh yes, beard down to about his knees. Broad hat sitting on a stick next to him, looking pissed off.
Birds that make excrement to build my cement, plant.
There are people here who know that reference, so yes. Anyway,
You're the bastard that messes with those birds.
Hey, cement is good, man. It builds.
Anyway, he's clearly upset with the fact that he's in a marsh, in a swamp.
Oi, what are you doing there? Says Alabaster, who is
Describe yourselves because
wearing
he needs to know what you look like as well.
he looks like he's of a nautical background, like a white sailor's outfit on, a white like denim pants, a white denim jacket on. Underneath it, he's got a breastplate, and he carries a big hammer with spikies on it,
And he's
like
got
a
a bucket
tenderizer.
on that he wears on his hip that's about a gallon. Can carry about a gallon of water at a time.
And
Ah,
he's got one leg.
Yeah, he's walking on a stump. Next, go ahead, Fishy Cat. Describe yourself.
I'm fishy. I fish person with uh koi. I'm a koi fish. Cleric. I have robes of certain colors that I have not yet decided on. And well, no, I'm gonna go with some nice blue robes, maybe some oranges.
Anyway, the fish's the picture that he's got up is pretty close. So if you see that image, you can see kind of what it looks like.
He's got an
Orange.
Yes.
attention span smaller than the bugs that he eats.
He makes Dory look like a dedicated campaigner.
Uh,
And Jean. Did we lose Jean?
all
She
right.
muted herself.
Nope.
Nice.
Started.
Now that she muted herself, she took herself off the list. I don't see her.
She's there. I see her.
Oh, there she is. She must have muted
Well,
herself. She's been having
well
trouble
then,
muting. So, but you see a blonde-haired woman. Her hair fairly seems to move of its own accord, and it actually grows at about an inch an hour. So you actually will, if you sit and stare at her long enough, you'd actually watch her hair get longer. She's carrying a staff and also is of a priestly demeanor. So it literally looks like we've got three priests and a mage. If this isn't the setup for a great joke somewhere, I don't know what is. Three priests and a mage walk down the street.
I heard a story about that one.
You heard that one, alrighty? Okay, so
Yeah,
we're on the edge.
one was green veil and one was white veil and one was
Purple.
orange veil and one was purple veil.
Yeah.
Let's make a story.
Anyway, we're on the edge of Lake Dungeness. Out in the water center is a place known as Dungeness Keep that has not been explored in a really long time. And the adventurers are actually surveying the lands that they were bequeathed by a race of minotaurs, the Towermox, who gave them this land because they helped to free them from their imprisonment.
They're good people.
Anyway, Lord only knows why Kelman is out here, so we're glad to have you, though. We're definitely glad to have you.
Yep, most certainly.
What brings you here, fine large gentleman?
Trying to collect elements for my spells, I guess.
Oh, well, you'll have plenty of almonds to your west. This land is the not X.
Wait, that's not what we're calling this land.
I'm trying it out, seeing how it works.
No, not.
Not
Not
sex.
nuts.
Not a hex.
No.
Not a land.
Stop
is a
calling after
land.
your name.
No.
Oi, but
Fishy.
there's a pun here somewhere, I'm sure of it.
I want to call it fishy puddle. How about that?
Fishy's puddle.
Fishy's dungeon. Now get in it.
No.
All right. So the coastline of the lake that you can see, that little sandy bit on the far left of the hex, which is actually to your character's right, does have a couple of small hovels just in the grassy area beyond that sand, and it looks like they're utilizing that as like a fishing village. There's a couple of longboats pulled out there. But what's really interesting is they have a pillar maybe 25, maybe 30 feet high that that stands out because it has a huge mirror on it pointed at the lake.
A mirror pointed at. Well, we've got to find out why. Where are we right now?
At the end of the
Move our
road,
trail.
at the end of the trail where he put you, right up
Oh,
against the mouth of the river.
okay.
It's the high point because he wouldn't have wanted to cross that marsh to get to the river or, farther out.
Yeah.
So are they across the river from us or no?
Okay, from your position to your right, which would be
Here.
on the map to your left. Do you see the sandy area that you drew originally on the?
On the far shore?
Yes.
Right there where
Yeah.
you put the
Yeah.
hovel.
That's where you see this monstrous mirror. The reason why I caught your attention is that it's probably catching the morning light, and there's probably a
Yeah.
beam across the lake coming back at you from it that hits the water. So there'd be, just almost as much light
This
coming from that shoreline.
kind of reminds me of the mirror. What is it? What's that mirror called? That the sailors try to use to burn up ships by the shore. That was a weapon made in, I think, Rome.
Archimedes,
Yeah,
death
Archimedes.
ray or whatever
Yeah.
it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mirror on the wall. How shall I
Does it
depict
seem to be
you?
a concave mirror or a flat mirror?
No, it's a concave mirror. That's what I'm saying. You can see where the light is coming to a point in the water.
Oh,
Deflecting back to you as a pinpoint.
darn, I wish we had a boat that we could get across there. If not, we're going to have to
That kind of works.
Let's
back
swim. No, let's go swimming.
in water that you know nothing about.
Yes.
Right, well, he's a fish.
He's a fish.
I don't think any water he swims in he'd know anything about.
Or care. It's just
Oi,
water. He's
he's
just
a
happy to be
fish.
back to water.
I ain't
Well, the
doing that.
swampy water might not be easy to swim in if it's shallow.
No, but he'd walk across the first part. Who knows how long that coastline at least goes from here almost a half a mile, right, before it
Yeah.
even gets to the water.
Oh, do we backtrack and go around and find out what the heck it?
We could just cut down some trees, and bind them together, and then
Yes.
make it like a little raft.
Or we could leave.
You have a wizard who's sitting there cleaning out his boots that could probably make something if he wanted to, but he's just
Yep.
busy getting the last of the pebbles out of the tip of his boot. I can't. I know that I can't stand that. What happens to me when I get a rock inside my shoe? Forget that. I'm going to dig at it till I get the damn thing out.
Uh,
Hey,
I could fly
hey, you over
across,
there.
but
Hey, you, new guy.
what available? Hey,
The
you
fish-
guys.
The fish is staring at you, going, "Hey, you, you guy."
New guy. That's a new guy.
Why don't you ask him his name?
I don't know. I don't know his name.
Ask Fishy Cat.
I'm
Tiara,
Fishy
Tiara,
Cat. What is your name?
Sir Wizard, could we have your name, please? I am Tiara
Oh.
Sunfire.
You're asking for his name.
Oh, quick question.
Yes, and I'm introducing myself.
What did anyone ever write down what we got from the brownies?
We wrote it down. It was an unspecified amount of
No.
gold.
What?
No, it was. We didn't count it
We
all,
had okay.
but he told
stop,
us.
Stop talking for a second. We got 1,000 gold. Sorry, no,
And
100 gold.
10,000.
No, we
No,
got 100 gold.
And 10,000
10
silver. That was before. This was not
and-
this.
And we got on Tiara. We got dresses and stuff of that sort, and
Yeah, but
crown.
that 100 gold and 10,000 silver was from the Tarmox long before.
Yeah,
No, oh no, but we also
we got
from
both
her.
of. No, not this group.
We got a whole like wagon load of treasure
Yeah.
of who knows what. I just wondering if we went through it and we didn't, but that's
No,
fine.
we didn't. We haven't.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's not. I was just
He was thinking
Yeah.
there may be something in it. Is all he was saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I do. When there's a problem, I go look to see what we have to see what I can fashion.
Among our
Okay.
assets, we have
Yeah. Yeah. Among our assets. Okay. Do we? I I say we just if we can't. It would take us long enough to build a sturdy raft that it would take us to ride around to talk to them.
Hey you, new guy. Can you make anything?
I don't think he wants to talk to us.
Uh,
Oh,
Yes,
I
I
think he
missed.
nodded when I said that.
oh, all right.
Just to let you know, sir, we are the princes of this land, and you're welcome to hang about as long as you don't cause too much trouble.
All right. So
I think he's a mute.
Anyway,
Wait, is that called being dumb?
No.
No, I think it is. When you can't talk, you're dumb.
well, he
So,
talked already once. Just give him a
oh,
break. Maybe it's
Wait a
just
minute. Are you dumb when you can't talk or when you can't hear? No, that's Steph.
deaf is when you can't hear, dumb is when you cannot speak.
Wait, then what's a mute?
He's a mute is dumb.
whoa!
Are
This
you
is
a
getting.
dumb mute?
Travis,
What?
let's
there's
go.
motion on the surface of the water. About
I don't want
Oh,
to go across the water.
see you later. Let's go.
No, let's go around and find out what that mirrored
Yep,
thing is.
let's go around this water.
Yes, I totally agree. Backtrack and go around
Yeah,
the
yeah,
water.
let's just go right around.
No, Travis,
There we go.
go back up to the
Travis.
river.
Okay,
Go
so
up to the
what's
bridge.
with this bridge? What's with this
Travis.
bridge over here?
Then how do we get by the mountains to get to the other side of the river? We're
Why
gonna
do we
have.
want to get to the other side of the lake?
I want to find out why they have that tower there with a mirror
So that they can look in your
Yes.
window at
and the
night. I don't
people that
know.
are. Travis, are we exploring our lands or aren't we?
We're not.
Oh,
Go
Not.
back, Travis. Let's
wait.
go,
I
go
forgot. I
around the
forgot
lake.
my camp though. I picked our camp down.
Okay,
There
we'll
we
go
go.
back around the lake and find out. Find out what's in our kingdom. It certainly looks like it's in our kingdom.
All right.
Yeah, let's go over
Traveling
there.
that way, you get back up out of the marsh relatively easily. Um, the there isn't any road here per se. The terrain is arable but not tended, so it's scrub and scruffy grasses, um, different kinds of vines and such gourds. And along the way, you'll come across several different forms of fauna, little like snakes and lizards and such like.
Yeah,
Uh,
and the
and
things that hunt
you'll
them.
see evidence. You'll see evidence that grazing animals in moderately decent sized herds have passed over this area, but you're not able to actually catch glimpse of any of them.
Okay, that's okay. So we ride on over to the fishing village.
Okay. So as you approach the village from the other side, they don't have any buttresses or fortifications on that side, and you'll actually run into some villagers and such. And you'll see they do have fishing boats out in the waters of those two little bays.
Oh,
Hello, welcome to our land. Who the hell are you?
Hello there. I'm Alabaster. This is Tiara, and that's Fishy. Don't mind him. And that's the mute.
Dave's just watching. I didn't mean to put him in the story. I didn't realize that he was not up for playing.
No worries.
okay. The mute's not with us.
Oh,
Okay,
go
okay.
ahead, follow along if he wants to.
Okay. Anyway,
I have too many characters and too many iterations of this game. I don't know which one I would be playing.
You're still playing Kelvin.
No, I don't know what I'm playing.
why
you
not?
assumed I was playing Kelvin.
Yeah, he wants to make his own character. That's fine.
That's fine.
No, like I said, I don't even know what iteration we're in, so I can't.
Now,
We're in the
Hey.
eighth one.
No.
eighth iteration.
Hey,
Trust,
Kelvin,
trust,
No, I
trust
don't.
me.
Wait,
wherever
Trust
you
me,
are,
I've been in like
Kelvin,
4 or 5 of these, so
wherever
Ah,
you are,
congrats.
Kelvin, there you are.
and
I've
all of
only
them have
been.
different. All of
Yeah.
them have different solutions or sort of solutions.
just bring your level 20 character.
Pseudo solutions.
Nah. I'm just here to enjoy you guys making fools of yourselves. That's all.
Absolutely.
Happy too.
Anyway, the villagers wave at you and will paddle to the shore. The style of fishing that they're using is pretty primitive. They're basically standing up and spearing their fish in the water from above, so they're actually having to see them. Therefore, they're staying in the shallows where the shadows on the water surface allow them to see into its depths. They seem to be doing
What
pretty well, even this early in the morning. One of the ships, one of the vessels already has a pile of fish in the back, so they must start before dawn. And it might be
Hmm.
that the mirror is used to collect additional light, even at night, to capture whatever ambient light is in the area. Or they might even use a fire or something to illuminate
But
the.
what species are they?
They appear to be people, humans.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hello, I'm Alabaster.
most of their clothing appears to be white, and the sleeves seem to have been torn or cut off and then hemmed. So they're kind of rough in their clothing style. Um, and the
So,
construction of the mirrors, just the amount of metal to make it, would be 10 or 12 suits of armor. So it seems like a rather extravagant expenditure of metal
this
materials.
probably comes from another time or another group of people.
Or it's from for some great import to their culture.
Hmm.
Either way, let's find out. Hello there. I like to find out all about you. Say hello. I'm the prince of this region. That's also a prince of this region. That's a princess of the region. How'd you
Wait,
do?
Ah, no, nobility. The gentleman almost stutters and almost falls back in the water. He's so overtaken by that. Uh, did didn't expect any nobility. Haven't got any taxes collected or anything. We can do what we can. Let me,
No,
Jimmy. He
be at ease.
hey, wait, wait, wait.
points at a young man and he says, Jimmy, run to the village. Tell them to prepare. That the nobles have come again. And he takes off
Again?
running.
Wait. You said
Just
again.
wait a moment.
Why did you say again?
Why would I say again? Because you guys were only here a couple months ago.
What?
From where? Did they give a name?
Oh, now you're asking me to actually look at my map. Come on. What are you doing, crazy person?
It was probably that crappy people that wanted
Salesman?
to
The
buy
people
this
that
head from
tried to
us.
buy or claim this area?
Let me go look.
Yeah.
Let me go look.
We'll have to find out where they are and let them know on no certain terms that this is not their land.
You sing him the song, right?
This is not their land. This is not your land. This
It
is
is
my
our land.
land. I
It's all,
don't care, man. I forgot the last part, so
If
this
you want to, I can kill you. This land is mine.
And he's
Now
running
get
over to
forevermore.
shoot.
out.
Okay.
Ours. It is ours. Ah,
Choo choo choo. Yes, it would
can
have
only
been.
say it's our
It
land.
would have been Talus, the second prince of the sea.
Second. What the fuck? I am the only prince of the lake. Sorry.
I
Sorry.
think a sea's a wee bit bigger than this here lake.
Uh,
Yes, and quite a distance away.
yeah.
And a wee bit more salty.
A lot more salty,
Mm.
especially if you collected taxes from him.
Oh, we
Har
can't
har.
collect shrimp from him.
Anyway, so he says, I didn't hear the heralds, and I didn't see the banners, and we didn't get any advance notice. Is this some kind of surprise inspection?
Oh, you could say
Mm.
it's a survey.
Oh,
We're here just to enjoy and inspect our lands. We didn't want all the hubbub.
well, as far as hubbub is concerned, that's really we 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 live a simple life. I mean, we've only been operational in our current standing for about 7, 8 months.
Hmm.
Hmm. Okay.
How did you make that, Mirror?
Yes, we did fashion that mirror as a necessity. That mirror, if you as you call it, is a collector of sorts, and it allows us to hear voices from long distances.
Oh,
Oh,
That's
how
what?
interesting.
interesting. But where do you collect voices from?
Oh well, of late, not from anywhere. Um, the last ones we heard were from a place called the Deeps. I don't know exactly where that is, but it's somewhere 4 points south of west, or south of east.
4 points south of east. The
How do
depths?
you use it?
Well, we can show you in
Well,
town. Because we've received quarter, we have no problem with sharing with you the knowledge. Please come into town and I'll show you.
All right, excellent.
oh, quarter. What's quarter?
No
It's,
idea.
What's quarter? She asked.
Oh, the voice of the angel.
uh,
What about him?
The voice of the angel gave us permission to exist equally with everyone else, and now that we've established our little village, we have followed all of the laws and have become at peace with our lot. The lake has
What
got
law?
plentiful fish, and the dangers of it are manageable. And
what?
What law is that? Because I see no difference to you than from any other human I've ever come across.
exactly, there isn't any.
Well, let's. I would love to find out about your device. And
Well, like I said, it doesn't really work anymore, but I can show it to you.
okay,
Cool.
maybe we can find a way to get
No.
communications across our own place.
Oh, we
Oh,
already got that. He taps his crown.
Wait a moment. Well, we do, but I mean, it would be
For our
good if we had.
subjects,
Yeah, our subjects had
I
communication.
know exactly what to do. We get a
First, we
giant
need
horn.
subjects.
We get a giant horn
Wait a moment.
yelling us.
Please don't go off on something so wild when we're trying to keep in character. The giant
Wait,
he's not.
how's a giant
He's
horn not in character?
right, especially as sea creatures. He would know about horns and about shells and such like.
horns you may know about, but not about sound made by a horn under
I
the
can uh,
ocean.
I can imagine Fishy Cat carrying around a big shell, keeps putting it to his ear, and imagine that he's calling home to mother,
Yes.
but
Hello,
it's he's just hearing
hello,
hearing the ocean.
hello, mother. Oh, it's really loud where you are. Can you try to talk a little bit louder? Yes, I'm doing. Yeah, I'm doing fine.
Glub glub whoosh whoosh.
Okay, so I dismount and walk with
And
them
as
because
far
it's
as
polite.
As far as the concept of blowing a horn underwater and making it make sound, that is totally a Triton thing to do. So yes, he would be aware of that because Tritons are a thing on Nycos. So it's not untenable for him to think of that for communication. So
I think it's untenable because we keep talking about the water. So let's get out of here.
it's like, why are we talking about under the ocean? I don't want to be there. All right. So anyway,
We're talking about.
you get into town. Yeah, the structure's positioning over the water really had more to do with who they were trying to reach than what they were doing with the light. So the reflection on the water was a coincidence rather than an intent.
Okay.
But they show you a box with the spaghetti like almost like entrails laying out over the back of the ground that plugged into another box that they've got on the ground that when they turn it, it makes pretty light, but that's as far as they don't they use it to take care of local power purposes for things like food processors and stuff. But they're like I said,
Oh, well, that looks a wee bit complicated. No wonder you got problems.
yeah. Well, we had to do that because we haven't yet figured out where we can mine uh, heavier ores and such, and a lot of that technology we've kind of I can't really describe it how we've kind of forgotten how to do it. But
Oh,
we're working with what we do know. We know how to fish, and we're you know
But you did know
mind,
how
you
you
say?
did know how to mine?
Oh,
we
well,
know that
lots of people
mining.
know how to mine.
You
He's
dig in the
talking about
ground,
whatever this spaghetti stuff is.
right?
Hmm. Hmm. Do you know how to build? Like,
In meta, I don't know.
Why they should forget their
Either
knowledge?
way, but that's something we should find out.
Well, yeah.
Because
The
that seems ridiculous if they lose everything they had.
gene
oh,
when
I'm sorry.
when no here it's real simple without giving anything away. When they open the back of the box, there's a lot of black powder in there now.
you
Okay.
Remember how
messed up
somebody
on
lost
something.
a weapon? It's same thing applies if they're not focusing on using the material. It becomes unfunctional because the material of this world is taking it over.
Okay.
Oh, so this used to be a satellite or a dish.
I wonder, could you not use magic to get that thing working again?
Magic. What?
Why
What?
magic?
what? Oh, we have a guy in town that does like that pulls rabbits out of hats and makes quarters disappear. But I don't know
What's
what
that?
Wait a moment, like this, and she pops a light spell.
he goes. Oh yeah, that's not cool. You probably don't want to do that in our public. We have several people who are rather averse to that stuff. They get violently
Oh,
sick.
they get.
You know
Wait
what?
a moment. They get what?
Violently sick.
Because why?
Last time that
Perhaps
happened.
that's interesting.
Oh, someone did something with actual
No,
magic.
Hold
no,
on,
but
pause,
maybe they're
pause,
susceptible to it.
pause.
In the meta,
In
it
the
might be
meta,
that.
hopefully the reason that makes them sick is now gone, but we'll have to discover that.
Oh, is it the radiation?
Or they are capable of using magic.
No, I'm pretty sure that he's referring to the non-magical nature of the other, and how they have an adverse reaction to uh, magicals in the air and food and whatnot. And so probably they're accumulated, but something strong and concentrated like a spell might still, I don't know, set off an allergic reaction sort of
Yeah, well,
thing.
I thought in the meta it'd be a matter of maybe now there are people who are sensitive to magic and they just
Yeah, that's the same
haven't
thing.
That's
understood it
exactly
yet.
what Travis just said. He said it the same words, same thing with different words.
Okay.
That's a
Now,
Well, I
possibility. Another possibility is that they have a psychological aversion because of something they saw, or
oh,
maybe they see it as
okay, I know that. That's okay.
a dark and a symbol of evil. If
I
some
think what I think what Gene was mentioning is that it might be that they are, say, sorcerers or something, and because they're not tapping into the magic, it's
right,
setting off their latent whatever's
right,
inside of them or something.
right, that could also be yes. So
So
all of that is true.
either way,
Oh,
I suppose, if it's not important to you, it's no worries.
Well, at some point we'll figure it out, but it's really not a high priority. What we're trying to do is make sure we get enough food into the larders so that when the nobles do come back for their taxes, it doesn't hurt us as bad as last time did.
I don't do
simple.
that no more. You're not under taxation to anybody but us, and I
Well,
think those other people may have put the wool over your eyes, if you know
well,
what
they
I
rode
mean.
in with heavy armor and weapons and demanded us to surrender, and so they, as I said, they gave us quarter, and the arrangement is 25%.
Oh
So
no.
Well,
No, no.
I know that it's a wee bit difficult and all, but it's a lot to ask. But if you wish to be more protected, you could technically move your people more in the other, like, inland and on the other side of the lake, where it'd be easier to defend you. You're way out, way out on our edges out here.
Yeah, can you move your city over to the inner of
move
our
move
area?
our city. You mean abandon this one and build another one? It took us
Well, I mean,
6 7 months to
most
set
of
this up.
these most of these are on stilts. You might be able to lift them up and carry them if you have enough men. The tower, I don't think you're gonna have much use for, but
Well,
seeing as how it's not
Wait,
working,
wonder if there's ways we can help them get
Yes.
it built faster in a better
Sure.
place.
Well, we have the Tarkmarkians. We could ask for their help too. For the
Yeah, we can help.
Lucy.
what are Tarmakian? I mean,
The
they're still. By the way, they're still staring at you, Fishy Cat.
okay,
Hi,
Tamakian.
I'm your prince, by the way.
Tamakian are
Nice to meet
best
you.
explained as bull people.
Oh my God! Hey guys, do you want to be? Do you want to work for me? I can actually use you to help make a casino I have. I've
What?
been
Okay,
planning in the
that's
works.
a terrible segue.
no, they would. They're a free people in our land. They're free.
Yes,
Now,
and I'm saying work as I pay them to do things because they're part of our.
Well, okay, but that's all well and good. That just means that there's something else that the warlord would come and take.
that we've got to get these people safe.
Well, we're safe. We're paying the taxes.
But
We're
you
making.
shouldn't have to because you're not in their land anymore. I don't care if they
You
gave
say
you.
that. You say that, and I appreciate that coming from such wonderful people as you. You're clearly a people of noble birth because you actually have horses. If you notice, that's one thing that we don't have. We had conveyances, but they no longer function. So we're doing the best we can with what we have. We removed the engine from the two conveys we had, and so we have a way to load up cargo so that we can, take the taxes to the payoff point and such like. But we don't.
Can you tell
Oi,
us
it's
where
up
the
to you.
payoff
We're
point
we're not
is?
we're not gonna force you, all right?
Yeah, well,
We're the princes of the land, and we're offering you a solution. If
sure.
you don't want, if you're happy with your setup here, more
Well, I
power
just,
to you.
25%?
I
Just
That's
know that you're not
robbery.
subject. Excuse me, TR, I'm talking.
and it's not robbery, Tiara. You don't even to 20 minutes, and 20 days ago you weren't sure how much a gold piece was. So you're our
I just,
fast learner, but
honey,
Either way, all I'm saying is that you're not subject to them if you don't want to be.
okay,
This is our land, and you're welcome to be part of our land. If you
okay.
don't want to be,
I
you're
have no.
welcome to stay here.
If we are part of your land, then we will abide by any requirements that you have of us, and we will, even perhaps be able to provide at some point a levy for workers. I did
Ooh.
get the connotation that you guys were looking for a workforce. That may be a possibility, but we're still just living day to day at this point.
I
That's
understand that.
By the way, here's a feast. Have some fish and some more fish and fishes and
enough for
You're a
a
wonderful
meal
person.
that we can keep. But other than
I
that,
see
more
you've
than
got
that,
a
we.
lot of fish here.
it's our primary resource.
Well, if you'd like to trade, I know
Oh,
some
and they
people
do
that
have,
might like some fish.
they do they say we do have some souvenirs. Don't really know what they're
Ooh.
for really anymore, but we
Hey,
determined that would be our pile of treasure. If you want to take a look at it.
can I?
No, it's theirs. If they want it,
Okay.
if they want to
Well,
give us a.
they'll bring out some of it and show it to you. Like they've got these weird. I mean, it's not. This weather is clearly not cold enough to require it, but they have these weird earmuffs with this little arm thing that comes off the front in front of the face. That they're not sure. They
Aye,
don't
that's
really.
interesting. Is it
Uh,
supposed to
Ooh.
hold something over your mouth?
well, no, we even tried to attach a spoon to it, but it doesn't move, so you actually have to physically bend it.
Wait. I get it. I get it. Let me see one.
Sure.
He puts it on, and he takes out a white hanky and hangs it onto
Nice.
the little hanger,
Yeah.
and then he
There,
eats
there,
something and then just
Dab.
taps on the thing and it taps his mouth.
Oh, that
Oh, yeah, I think that might be it.
that might be it. All right, excellent. They have a whole lot of these patches with NASA on it that they've clipped off of their old uniforms.
Asan,
No, that's Viswa. Viswan.
Viswa.
Viswan.
Ah,
Yeah.
Hmm.
I
Is this your
will.
banner?
No. Oh
Doesn't
no,
that
no, no, no. Matter of fact,
NASA?
no, no.
N
Vis,
A
vis,
S
vis,
A?
it,
Viswin.
if you hold it either, it could be either. We don't know. It's
Hmm.
VZVN. Visvin.
Looks like it's a bunch of squiggles if you hold it up and down.
Yeah,
So,
if you hold it up and down, but that might make a cool banner. But up and down like that.
aye. Anyways, so
It's
Uh,
there's a
wrong.
group of these Tarmakians, and they control a lot of the local lands and
uh-huh.
around ours, and they are producers of wheat and whatnot, and they might like your fish if you wanted to trade for some
That would be
breads and
helpful.
whatnot.
That would be greatly helpful to us. You did mention payment. If you guys did have access to some of the heavier metals and things like that, iron and such, so we could actually start to fashion replacements for the convey and stuff, that'd be helpful too.
Well,
Because the ones
far
we have,
I don't know how.
they show you in most of
If
the
you were to set up, he shows them the map that he's been drawing.
uh huh.
If you show set up here on this lower point of the this here same lake, you could continue your fishing of it, but you'd be right next against all these mountains here, and I'm sure you could work them a wee bit to see if you could find some
Well, you know
heavy
what?
metals
You
and
know what?
whatnot.
We eventually probably will work our way around the lake. You don't ever want to fish one place too
What's the matter?
strongly.
Oh, yeah, I get that. I
So
used to be a seaman myself.
good. So yeah, we'll definitely look into that, and certainly setting up a trade point that would make it easier for you, like out on that little point opposite side on the other side of the Dungeness. We know that it's
Aye.
called
The dungeon?
the Dungeness. He points at the castle. He says we know it's called the Dungeness because one of the first people we met was a short guy, maybe 4.5 feet tall. Said that he was the magistrate of Dungeness, and that
Oh, it
we
seems like there's a lot of
I'll be right back.
magistrates
I'm
of
gonna
our
check
land
something.
without us giving them permission to be.
well, I think they were operating before you guys came along or whatever because this is the first we've heard of you.
Aye, well, rather it is or not, we're the rightful princes of this here land, and a lot of people are claiming such that don't have the right to.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
But anyway, he was kind enough to say that if the warlord got to be too rough, we could move into the Dungeness and live under his protection. But that didn't quite feel right because he wanted us to wear collars.
Aye,
And
that don't feel right at all.
yeah,
Either way,
he said he was from a
so
people called the Grim.
oh dear. Well, that's grim. So how about let me say this. So if you want to trade with the Tarmakians, probably your best bet is to go uh east of here, just a few points south, and there's this great gate in the mountain. They live under the mountain right now, and I think they're going to be setting up a trade post there, where you might be able to come and trade your fish.
How many leagues is that from here?
Oi, let's see, 7, 14, 21, 28, 32-ish.
Okay, back. Sorry about that.
32. That's 32.
It's about a day and a half's ride or walk.
Yeah. Once you get, it'd be 2 days walking, day and a half by horse or less. But as we don't have any of those yet, that's one of the first things we'll need to trade for. Do you know whether the Tarmaks have steeds?
I
Yes.
don't rightly know.
Hmm.
They're mostly underground folk, so I don't know how much cause they have for long travel.
Wait, Didn't they get steeds from the battle?
That's where we got our steeds.
Yeah, no, but they also had extra steeds from the battle.
I don't know.
No, they did. I'm saying they did.
I know what I'm saying is that it's not ours to say.
Oh, right then.
It's not
Anyway,
like they have a huge amount to trade with, as far as we know.
that's not undoable. It would take whoever it was that went to do that out of action from a fishing standpoint for a ways. But we definitely will look forward to possibly an emissary from that place if they wanted to talk to us about possibly setting up trade as well here. Because
Oh, sure.
ultimately it'd be better if we could turn the fish here at the shoreline instead of to carry the fish. Because as you may know, fish after 3 days are like visitors. They tend to smell.
Aye. Well, I'll next time
Yeah.
we get around that way, we'll send an envoy to you.
All right.
And I do implore you to seriously consider down that southern coast next to the mountains if you want to do some mining.
Okay. Okay. We'll definitely look into that. We probably would be able to talk to our friend from the Dungeness, perhaps, and maybe buy some tools from him. If we Since
Can
we are now producing food, at least.
I
can
suppose
we
the
go?
Tarmoks also have tools too. If you don't want to deal with that creepy fellow.
Yeah, but if his hold in our lake is always there, we may have to deal with him at some point.
Well,
I
Better have a friendly relationship than start one off with a war.
Right, I understand that. We may have to deal with him in our own way in time if he keeps claiming ownership of what he's not ownership of.
you,
But
I,
that's what this whole little jaunt is, to say hello and
Good.
meet the people we haven't even met yet and see what needs doing.
So you've experienced freshwater sushi. Yay.
yay.
Hey, it's sickly.
Trout and catfish. So good.
Yep.
I think
Should we
there's a
take a
reason
boat?
there's not as much freshwater sushi.
I know.
Should we get a boat
That's the
and
joke.
go over there?
They would have cooked it as well.
No, we're walking.
Wait, but when we have to swim if we wanted to go to Pigeon Keep?
I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Okay.
Remember, his family had a bad experience with boats.
Oh, right, right. Let's swim then. Let's walk over there. I love this idea.
I'm gonna murder you. Some awful. I say we go around and follow down the seam of these mountains back towards the gate.
Why? We can. It's closer on this side, isn't it?
What is?
We
Oh,
don't
wait.
know how long the lake goes into the next hex, just like everything else. We're only mapping this space.
Ah, I see. Well, I was wondering if the Dungeons Keep was closer to here than over
It
there.
is, but
Okay.
it's straight across water.
No, it's closer to the other shore actually.
It is. It's a lot closer to
Okay, then
Farther
let's go
shore.
that way.
the isthmus there.
I will trust not for his knowledge. Not knowledge.
Anyway,
But
they
you
do
definitely
say it
should
is
not
getting.
trust
By the time
not.
you got here, it would have been coming towards evening, so they're gonna recommend that you stay the night. With the,
Very well.
with the relative protection of our group.
Sounds fine.
Yeah,
Thank you.
sounds good.
So
I don't rightly know how I feel about stinky fish for breakfast, but
oh no, we actually have done some harvesting of berries and such like that, so we do have a better selection at breakfast. We just usually have breakfast as our main meal, and then we eat some of our fresh catch in the evenings.
I getcha.
Don't we have meats too?
Yeah, if you wanted to trade out some of your dried beefs and stuff for their fresher meats, you could do that.
Totally, man.
I have a feeling that it's dried pork instead of dried beef if we got it from the Tarmoks.
True.
Yeah.
Lots
But
of
you also got
mushrooms
it from
too, if I
Banbury.
remember.
But you also had food supply at Banbury, so
True.
it would have been both.
I remember they had lots of mushrooms in the Tarmok
Yes,
place
they
that
were
they fed us
big
as
on the
well.
mushrooms, so yeah, you definitely trade some mushrooms.
Some good. Oh, man, that's really good stew, man. Mushroom stew.
Oh
Some
yeah,
We'll
milk.
call it a potluck.
exactly. There
Yeah.
we go. There we go.
Yeah. Let's have a potluck.
Alrighty.
Lucky,
so,
it's good.
Just a second here.
Cultural differences in a good way.
Yeah.
And I lost a little sizer for my ring because since I lost weight, my ring's way too big.
Uh huh.
And it's my gold ring with the emerald in it.
Right.
It's weird not wearing it.
You lost it?
No, the little sizer on the inside that makes it smaller,
Uh huh.
that fell out and I don't know where it went. So
Oh,
I'll have to find another one.
okay. I do ask a question, Tiara. Down in Silk, they smoke some of their fish to preserve it, especially to send it north. Have you thought about that? As
Smoking. How do you wrap it?
What?
Smoking it? We have people who used to smoke tobacco, but we ran out of quite some time ago.
No, it's like this. You get a little shed or a tent, and you make a fire in it. Real slow roasting fire, lots of smoke, wet wood, and all that.
Oh, okay.
And the smoke fills the area, and it cooks the fish real slow, like, and
Good.
gets it all nice and dry, so it don't go bad.
Good. By the way, for your formal notes, this is known as Grumbler Station.
Okay.
Label, label, another label, label. What was it? Grumblers?
Grumbler, Grumbler Station.
I got to tell you, I don't like the fact that. By the way, what are the Grim? Kiara is asking.
I,
What are the?
You've met the
I
Grim. We
just
we walked by them. Remember, we had to wear the cuffs when we went by them.
I mean, oh,
You remember now?
They're the dwarves.
yeah.
live in the mountain.
And now they're claiming ownership of
There is
Dungeon SC.
a Grim
There's
that
a
is
Grim, a
claiming.
singular Grim that you know of. You've not met any more that claims
And
Dungeon
that's
Maybe.
SC.
who is they're paying the
Nope.
No,
tax.
No, it's
they're paying that to
Princess C.
some prince of the sea
Right.
who has no claim whatsoever to any of our land and or people.
Oh, you do know that the prince. Oh, well, in Meta, one of the princes of the sea has teamed up with the dragon.
You're
Um,
the one that knows that, Gene.
yeah, as I said in Meta.
No, Tiara is the one that knows that.
Yeah. Tiara
Oh,
knows that.
yeah,
Tiara does know
he,
that.
yeah, he has no right here.
Well,
We know that.
he and his folks came upriver, along the lake side behind us, and made the claim. And we were not able to withstand any. We didn't want to have to withstand any violence, so we paid him. It cost us dearly, and he also took several of our young women. But you know,
So about setting up that camp on the
yeah.
other side of the lake.
Well, like I said, you get in any story of the Magnificent Seven, you have to have the poor villagers who don't do anything to protect themselves.
Mm.
Welcome to your small village of people who don't take care of themselves.
Welcome
Well,
to.
we'll just have to have the move soon enough.
Anyway, so in the morning,
Yes.
I say we come around the place and follow the mountains down and go back down to the
Tarmakian Gate.
yeah, and then we can send them up this way and maybe inform the Tarmaks that there's these people that from the outside that are trying to lay claim because technically they're coming from the Tarmak lands now because the Tarmaks are the ones that laid claim to all the other hexes around us. So these other people are coming through Tarmak lands to us. So it's kind of their responsibility to
Well, since it just happened, more than likely they are going to be aware of it anyway, because whoever it was is more than likely still terrorizing the valley.
Oh shoot, that's cool.
right, but that what I'm saying is that we should kind of form a quote unquote defensive pact
Yes.
with the Tarmaks because they own all the surrounding lands,
Right.
and therefore we don't have to worry as much about defense except internally for now
Right.
because they have a large standing army and we don't.
You must have played Europa Universalis or something.
No, just Civ. I, I know how hexes work. I know where Gandhi lives. Where the stay the hell away.
And we haven't figured out how to close the border yet, so.
All we have to do is unlock the wheel, and then we can build roads. And
I want to unlock the castle walls so we can just build a giant wall on the borders. Keep out.
Why did you take this off?
yep. So we can probably do that. Maybe setting up a long, gigantic wall that's up around somewhere to something.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Around the lake to keep you from getting into the water.
Around the ragged rocks, the ragged rascal ran.
Nice.
Around the ragged rocks, the ragged rascal ran. Roar, 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 roar. Right-o, so.
Rocco the
Hey.
Racketeer. All right.
Careful, you're running out of R words.
No, there's a whole thing that was done by Tim Curry that I was trying to remember from Oscar.
Is
Ripped out his Roscoe for ripping off his run rumming receipts.
is the river fordable here?
No, that's
So
the
you have
reason.
to go.
The bridge, and the fjords way up north are the only two ways to cross the river. At this point, it's too deep and fast flowing. Besides that, you
Right,
need
so
to
we,
go into the Midlands there to get an idea of the herds and stuff. There are, as I said before, considerably large herds of animals. Uh, Let me go get my name list so you have them just to put on a list someplace. Maybe Steven, as note taker, can pull down the list here. But
give me a second. I can start
I know.
this note taking process. Oh wait, Fishy's Tales. That's where they have their thing. Oh, Fishy's Wonders. Sorry. Okay. What would you like me to type?
Just a second. But also know that you can put this directly into the not Splinter Speak, but into the um, Whispers.
Whispers of the Mist forum in the Discord.
Oh, Whispers of the Mists. Give me a second.
So the first of them are heavy-chested antelope breed, if you will. It has horns that go back over its head in outward curving spirals.
Okay.
That as they grow older, they just continue to curl. So an older one of these will have. They count the number of coils in the horns of the Nyala.
Okay.
The
Well,
second.
that's a.
What was that, Gene?
I said, if that's a good source of food.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, next.
They're very agile.
Very
They
agile, you say?
travel in family groups. Usually, it's one bull and or one, I guess, what do you call it?
So they
Ag.
travel in packs?
One ram, and two or three younger ramlings that stay with the
So they
group for a
travel in
couple of years.
packs?
Okay,
Small herds.
they're more like goats.
Yeah, well, they're a herd animal.
Okay. Yeah, they're
Uh,
called kids if they're the young
okay.
one.
Well,
The
yeah,
young are called kids.
that's only if they're really young. I'm talking about.
Yearlings. That's what they're
Okay,
called.
Gene, I'm trying to type here. Okay, so
it's one to four males in the
the four
herd,
males.
Okay.
and they do not stand a defense. It's not like a musk oxen. Instead, they'll run, and they're extremely agile and can leap up to 20 feet
So they're
vertically.
skittish.
Why do you keep on talking when Jonathan's talking?
Because I'm typing and I'm trying
Well, type. Don't talk.
to.
I have difficulty hearing Jonathan when you're just muttering.
Same here.
Yeah, that's why we don't try not to talk over each other. The second of the breeds is one more over here. Smaller, shorter legged, lives closer to the water as a group. Their horns move together and actually intertwine. After the fourth or fifth year, their two horns can actually begin to grow into a single horn.
That's weird.
And not only that, its body coloration is striped but has green and purple coloration. Perfect for hiding in the tall grasses.
Okay.
But when it stands by itself, it looks almost ridiculous. And it goes by a goofy name. They're called bongo.
Bongo.
Wait, what are these?
A kind of a ram.
Bongo.
A ram.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A deer like or antelope like creature?
Antelope like, but they're short legged. They don't leap at all. And when they come to defend, when they come to dangerous situations, their males actually go hyper aggressive and will try to ram you with their single horn.
So they're kind of like a weird goat,
Yeah, it's like a goat unicorn.
a
Very
goaticorn.
defensive.
Except green bodied with purple stripes.
Very funny looking.
Okay, male defensive.
And
What was the other animal called? Because I wasn't here. I had to go take care of my cousin.
the first one, Steven. What did I name it?
Uh, you didn't
Nyala.
name it.
Yes, I did. I know I
Oh,
did.
you did.
Nyala. I had to go look,
No,
but
Yeah, Nyalla, I think.
nay, yellow.
Yalla.
I
What?
dub thee not a horse.
There we go. Nyala.
The Yalla.
Yes.
and finally the largest of the species out here is looks like probably is a derivative of the aurochs of up north, but it's called a zubron, and the
Give me a
zubron
second.
is brawn because they are really tough. They are the largest of the herd animals and run in the largest groups. So a zubron horde can be close to 1,000 creatures.
What the Oh my
Wow.
god.
So it looks like up north we have the sheepies that were by that swamp, and here we've got all of these herd-like animals that's got these much more brawny, probably because they're up against the mountains.
Right. Plus, they've got a lot more food sources here, so they're willing to stay and
But
grow
there's a
in the
lot
area.
more lowlands here and pasture lands.
Oh, well, how big they are, they could be eating the mountains for all
You
we know.
realize that if we brought horses in here, we could might make a good trade with horse herds too, as
Hey, well,
well.
we want to keep the horses up north in the northern pastures that don't have as much as these. Maybe up
Yeah.
by your place, by your tower. That'd be
Okay.
good. The fields there might be good for horses.
Right now, as you wandered around, I love the way you did their lines because that really would be it. It's like you're following the different breeds to take the notes and
Thank you.
understand them. So I like that. It takes a couple of days of that travel, so there's probably a couple of campsites you could drop in there to show where you stopped in between. But now that you're down near the mountains, the final breed that you run into is rather reclusive and hard to spot, but they are um, Wolverine-like in their demeanor and their image. They're low to the ground, maybe 20 inches or so at the shoulder, but they are wide, almost a foot wide, brawny little creatures, and their fur appears to be gold, like the metal,
That's pretty right there. I love that.
and they are eight-legged, and their
Don't
feet
like that as much.
their feet end in 8-inch claws, and they apparently are
8 inch
really
claws?
yeah
Wait, they're only 20 inches tall? That's claws that are almost
8 inches long. Yes, and they've got
up.
8 legs. So yes,
Oh, they're clearly burrowers.
they were clearly burrowers, and if you got them cornered, they would be a hell. They're like so so you could call them mountain devils if you want. They would be a mess. Their actual name are Arumvirax.
Arumbarax. A
No,
R
A
U
U R
M
U M
U M
V O
B
R
B
A
O R
X.
A X. Okay. Arumbarax. Now, what I haven't seen is the
For
more agile predators that would prey upon these animals.
right,
'Cause-
exactly. You've been doing all this mapping and stuff during the day, but you have seen scenes of kill. So
Okay.
there are things out there.
Yeah.
We'll go into more detail on that when you guys get a little bit more adventurous and want to go try to look at stuff in the dark. But for the most part, you guys set up lighted camps to protect yourself from whatever
What's that
Fan.
sound?
That's a fan. Steven moved and didn't realize he left the fan.
No?
Yeah,
I am eating a spam sushi.
yeah, that's good stuff. Went to a.
Spam Subi?
Well, my friend ordered it in and he just gave me one. So there's this piece of spam over sushi rice wrapped in nori and
Yeah.
drizzled with teriyaki sauce.
It's called Spam Subi.
Yeah, it's actually it's a Hawaiian dish.
Oh,
He
yeah.
probably went to Ono, Hawaii. Be my guess.
That's a good.
I know
That's pretty
that they
good.
were very, very popular with my Filipino friends.
Yes. Um,
My friend's mom used to make those. They were good.
yep. Also note that the Arumvirax, the couple of them that you saw, apparently had some kind of a harness rigged on their heads.
Oh fuck.
So
Wait a moment.
they are apparently being used by somebody as beasts of burden.
20
Um.
inches tall?
Hmm.
What? Who in heck would use something so small? Unless they were small.
There we go. Now you're thinking.
Do we have
And we have.
gnomes in the hills?
Brownies.
Oh
You had
god.
brownies to the north. You don't know what these might be.
Well, shall we go find later?
Well,
Find out
so we're
later.
setting up our camp down here along the mountain range. First camp along the mountains. Before this, you were out in
Eh.
the plains. Who's going to be setting the first watch? Because till now
I
you
shall
haven't
be
had
the
any real
first
problems.
watch.
Okay, alrighty. So go ahead and roll me a six-sided die.
Excited die.
How many hours of sleep do I need?
If you're a caster, you have to have an 8-hour break.
So I'll have to be last watch.
Yep.
Do you have dark vision, Fisher Cat?
We all need 8 hours, so it doesn't matter who's first.
But the
who's
point
last.
is, didn't it have to be 8 continuous hours? I'm asking.
That's why normally a group of with
Sorry, I
spellcasters.
was getting my stuff. Okay,
There is
excited
no
die.
other rules for casters.
Right.
You just need a long rest.
I got a 1.
You just
Whatever
need to
that
have a long
constitutes
rest.
for
As
you.
long as I grant a long rest, you have a long rest.
Okay,
Having 1.
Your fan.
I'll be second watch because I have
Sorry.
night vision, dark vision.
Why do
I b-
you have dark vision?
I'm an Azamar.
Azamar.
Why in the
Azamar,
world would an Azamar have dark vision?
they have dark vision and always have had.
It's in the character creation process. Yes.
Ah,
Why I don't know, other than the fact that they should be able to recognize the enemy. I don't know.
fuck it.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't come into play very often anyway. So
Well, everything in 5th edition has dark vision now, so.
pretty much. The fishy
I
cat
got- I
does,
got
but
a-
only when he's underwater.
I got a 1.
Okay. You'll see the glint of their eyes as they're approaching. It looks like 20 or 30 individuals are moving towards your camp in a two-line formation.
I use message and tell everybody to wake up.
Don't need to. We have the crowns.
Oh yeah, and I
Well,
yell
if
at them.
you're sleeping, the crowns aren't on your head, so you don't sleep. with the
Mine
crown.
never leaves my head. They're just ringlets with little things.
They're uncomfortable to sleep on. I'm sorry. I anticipate that you take them off, but okay.
Wait,
Doesn't
do
matter.
I
He can
have
just
message?
whisper
I
to
do
you.
not
He's
have
right there
message,
by
I'm
you,
sorry.
so it's not like he's having to shout across a long distance. You guys are all camped together.
I grab my axe and wave, not wave, but in battle ready. Hold action.
Well, the axe glows, right? So as soon as you take it out of its cover, it'll be shining and glowing anyway. But you've
It's wreathed in blue flames.
right. So you've awakened everybody, and the columns that are approaching are riding on the backs of these Arumvirax. The little guys riding on them have broad, plain faces, little stubby noses, and most of them have brownish hair and freckles, although a couple of them have perhaps a deeper reddish color to their hair, and one of them is a blonde among all of them.
Who
And
goes there?
as they come riding forward, they fan out to create a hemispheric encompassing of the camp. They don't actually completely surround you. They just spread out so that they're all abreast of
But
one another and facing you guys at about
Fishy,
50 feet out.
lower your axe.
They're
All right.
they're riding on the Arumvaraxes, and they are carrying tiny lances.
These are
Uh,
the gold ones with the
Yeah, the gold ones with all the claws.
yeah,
And you say there's about 20 of them?
yeah, there are 20 of them.
Yeesh.
The blonde urges his steed forward a bit, and the animal begrudgingly growls and almost looks like it tries to snap at him with its sharp teeth. And he has to pull pretty hard on the reins to get it to act properly. So you can see the animals are rather spirited, and even though they're under control, it's by basic almost horsemanship skill only that he's keeping this spirited animal in line. Uh, he steps forward a bit and then causes it to sit down on its haunches, and as he does, he leaps from its saddle and uh, pulls from his pouch a U-shaped utensil, sharp and pointed on both ends. On both sides, and basically drives it into the ground with the reins, holding the creature's nose to the ground.
Okay.
It looks very uncomfortable, but it doesn't
It isn't actually harming him.
right.
Just
Just keeping it
keeping it pinned down.
right. And
All right.
as he comes forward, his lance actually has a casing on it that has a banner attached to the tip. So as he's walking towards you, he's removing the banner. The banner has a single black triangle against a red field. And as he pulls it off of his lance, revealing the lance itself, it too glows, but it glows with a pale yellow light. And at the very tip, you can see it has a hole like a sewing needle, only in reverse. The hole is near the point, the sharp point. He walks
Hello
forward
there.
and says, "Who speaks for thee?"
We
I
do.
do.
Oh,
Ooh.
Oh, I think we need to have one person that's dealing with this.
ah,
Okay, then I do speak.
No, you do not. This is a delicate
I am Fish.
situation.
He looks at the three of you who are discussing this in character. He says, "We will speak with the woman."
how do you do?
So, why do you encroach upon the Quapple land without permission or even a by your leave?
Well, first of all, we did not know you were here. Second of all, we were granted lordship of this land or stewardship of this land by the Tamakian, and we are
Lords or
co-rulers.
stewards? Lords or
Jean,
stewards?
okay, hold up.
Lord.
Jean,
Lord, what?
you're doing it again.
What?
You're telling them everything. You don't need to. We're
T-
princes of the land, and that is that. For all they know, we've been
I,
princes of this land
in
for all
that, I
eternity.
kind of disagree with you. What is too much about
They
it?
don't. You don't even know whether they know the Taramox exists. Is what he's getting at.
Okay.
So you don't want to give away the source of your power. You simply say we are princes and we have the right to do this because you realize this guy is coming off with a level of arrogance that suggests nobility. You should be responding with that same level of arrogance
Okay.
without giving away anything. So that's all he's
Then
referring to.
I will take it back and say I'm Tiara Sunfire, one of the princes of this land. These are my co-rulers.
Ah, well that explains the confusion. Perhaps I need to be bringing this message to more than one kingdom. That seems odd, but all right. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Thornblade. I am the champion of the which mountain range is this? The Teloth of the Teloth, and
Tell us.
as I am the speaker for my people, I am here to make you aware of our domain and to ensure that you are not here as a spy for the Grim.
Aye, well, we can't spy on our own lands.
And we certainly do not spy for the Grim.
Fair enough. In that case, we probably have less business with you than I was afraid of. Um, do keep your horses below the tree line, for there are creatures far more dangerous than the kind hunters of the plains that would attack you. And
Well,
of particular note, also, do not enter any of the uh, how shall I say, the workings you may find along this range, for our people have laid claim to several of them, and we need to
Can you
negotiate.
show us on the map?
We need to negotiate before we determine which ones we will allow you to access.
Well, as far as I know, we have claim to quite a few of the mountains on along that range as well. So we'd have to see your claim to the land.
Agreed. Agreed. That's all I'm asking.
I am just being clear.
Excellent. Excellent. It is odd to meet such reasonable people. We had to free several of the heads of the last group of princes that claimed this terrain, and
That's true.
we don't like
Well,
doing it. It's a messy affair, and then we've got to do all the rituals to cleanse the evil spirits from the deaths that we caused.
what
I
is it?
well, we've heard tale from quite a few of our subjects that there are so-called lords and whatnots that are trying to lay claim to this land that have no right to it. The people over there, the Grumbler Station on the other side of the lake, apparently somebody came up to them saying they were lord of this land and swindled them out of 25% of all their keepings.
He starts laughing, just uproariously. He's like, "Somebody fell for that ruse?
I know.
Wow, talk about naive. Oh, maybe we have to go over and make some arrangements of protection for them."
Aye, that might be good.
No, that
They're
is a wonderful idea.
they're actually considering coming and they're fishermen
Oh,
mostly
nice,
right now.
nice.
And I think I put a word in their ear anyways. I don't know if they'll take it or not. They should come on the inside of the lake and set up here in the lee of the mountain.
Well, should you speak with them again, let them know they will be greatly welcomed, because we have a bit of an aversion to the waters for cultural reasons. There is a creature that's said to live in the water that eats pecks like ourselves, and we do not wish to be food.
Are you of the? Ooh, I don't know how to say this, and honestly, I don't. Are you of the Fey realm, or are you
He
something
spits at the ground.
different?
He spits at the ground and kicks the dirt. And literally,
That's fine.
it's a ritual for them. Is spit at the ground and then kick the dirt away. He says, the Fae, we they have no claim here. You are protected and safe from their foul magics.
I like this guy.
Well,
Why,
it was good to know.
thank you, Sir Fishy. I think I might like you, but I'm afraid I might like you filleted. No pun intended, but you look rather scrumptious.
Thank you. I get that a lot. My brothers used to say that all the time.
Yes, I'm sure several of them did try. That probably explains the scrapes on your fins there.
Well, so you're picks,
Peck.
pecks.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I'm very
we
delighted.
have brethren. We have brethren in more rocky climes that are known as midges. They are a bit full of themselves.
Hey, do you mine here?
Do we mine?
Yes. Do you know the minerals here? What we have?
Well, we have certain affinities for certain materials. Yes.
Like, out of
That would
curiosity.
be a matter of national security for me to share, so I cannot. I
Oh,
hope you
Okay.
understand. We have things we must protect most assuredly, as you do.
Hmm.
well,
That's
right now we learn the lay of our land.
Well, you are learning because this is our land.
well,
Okay.
Mm,
Can we? When is your leader available to speak?
I'm not sure what you're asking. We are outriders from our leadership, but we do not have a king.
Oh,
We do
okay.
not bow knees to kings. We tend to take kings off at the knees, as a matter of fact, shrieking our battle cry, Sing Soprano Saka!
So you'd be like a good army.
Why, thank you. Worked hard to become so, learning the orders of chivalry from our brethren, the tall fellows.
Hmm.
who are the tall fellows?
He points at you and at Alabaster. You're tall
Oh,
fellows.
Yeah.
so somebody taught you the code of chivalry?
Absolutely, most assuredly. From the orders of Aranar, first king,
How many? How
ascendant
much?
of Ash the Good.
We can always use soldiers and
Uh,
knights of the realm to
I'm
help
certain. I'm
protect
certain
the
that
land.
you could. However, use is not a proper term for our services. You would have to petition for our aid.
I can go with that. Everybody should have equal rights in this world, and I
Well,
feel that we can.
those who have the right to vote would agree with you.
uh,
okay. Um, well, um, if you would extend, um, perhaps get around to making it over to Grumbler Station. Um,
He goes, that would be require us to cross the deep waters, and that we will not do. The bridge does not belong to us. But he hands you the triangle banner. He says, that is our emblem, and it is your leave of passage to travel our lands
how far do
south.
your lands extend? We really need to know.
He says 3 leagues of the Aramvarax.
Creed, what? Can
A
you
le-
show on the map?
On the map,
how
the
Alabaster will
extents.
show them the edge of the mountains where our domain ends.
Right. So if you scoot the map up just a bit, I can show you. Okay. The last hex before yeah, right there.
Here?
Yep, right there. Yep. So it's just this hex and the next one. And it's only along the mountain range. They don't actually go out into the plains. Our Rumvraks are hardy, but they're not really fast, except for in a sprint, as the dwarves would say.
So this ish area?
That and the same amount in the next hex north, along the mountains. Yeah, up to where your encampment was, basically. There you go.
yeah, that's enough.
Okay.
No, that's not so bad.
And this guy's name was Thorn. But let me see what the king's name is. A second. They're not their king, but they're elected. They're duly elected chamberlain. And no, he doesn't go.
No, good. We wouldn't want that. No Skeksis.
I can live with this. Hmm.
What are the names of it? Oh, they're Pecs. You need to put that P-E-C,
K. Peck.
P-E-C-K. Peck Realm. We won't call it a kingdom, just Peck Domain.
Hmm.
Just a second here. Draca Theodora.
Traca
Traca, yeah,
Theodora.
T-R-E. Traca Theodore.
So that's the name of their land.
No, that's the name of their king.
Oh,
Their magistrate, their chamberlain. Chamberlain Traca Theodore.
Theodore. Sounds like a woman.
Whoa.
Yeah, you say
Say
that
that to them.
say that to him. Say that to him. We'll find out how that goes. His first name is Traca.
It was funny. I heard something beep on there, and it beeped on my phone as well.
Hmm.
Maybe it was just.
Anyway, Traca can be found in their home village. In their home village, just right in the center. That that third mountain of the three in that first hex.
Oh, it's Dark Gods typing in stuff to Discord, and so it's popping up on notifications on my phone.
Oh, I got you. I got you. Yeah, he's just putting the notes there.
Okay.
But anyway, Traca's location is a place called uh, Varma, and it's not an actual. It's the whole of that hillside. What you'll find is that the Pecks have been here long enough throughout a long period that there are holes and warrens, and the reference to not going into places that are dug into the hillside is because they actually live inside the hill,
Hmm.
as halflings
Mm.
usually do.
They're halflings.
They're a pack, yeah.
Well, they're like stony halflings, it seems.
Just have an affinity for a rougher life than you think
But a
of.
halfling couldn't ride a 20-inch tall
Yes, they can.
Wolverine.
20 inches off the ground, not necessarily 20 inches from tail to
Oh,
snout.
No, it's not length of the animal. 20 inches at the shoulder. 20
oh,
inches tall at the shoulder.
okay.
The thing weighs. Okay, think about Travis's dog Nimros, and now
Yeah.
make that dog shorter by 4 inches or 5 inches, and make it wider by 20 inches.
I thought you said it was a foot wide, but it's wider than that, right?
Yeah, well, it's foot wide at the shoulder, and
Okay.
they're plump. They fill out.
They're roly poly.
Yes,
Okay.
they are fur machines. They actually do weave this golden fur to make their clothing and such.
I think that's. I think we could make a trade in that too.
If we sell,
Oh, we'll find a way.
yeah, we'll negotiate.
Yeah.
Peace! Give us peace!
Exactly.
Well, I was thinking that if we each had a cloak made of that, that if when we sit quote unquote in state, it might be very nice.
Yeah, we've made clothing for kings before. Kings come and go, usually at the end of a bow.
Heh.
Hey, that rhymed. You're a poet and you didn't know it.
We have many,
Do you?
indeed.
How wonderful.
Yeah, we actually make.
Maybe you can do entertainment for the.
Are you familiar with the Tarmox of this land?
Long ago, we were allies of the Tarmok, and when they lost the war, we were still here. We defended our lands and protected our own, and watched them as they retreated into the mountain.
Well, they're out of the mountain now.
Well,
Yes,
they've
we've
reclaimed
noticed.
their old lands, and this is
We've
now ours.
seen their numbers stampeding across the plains, and are quite pleased, and have already started to negotiate. So,
Oh, well, we're the ones that set them free.
well,
They,
then in that case, we should definitely honor you. I would like to receive your names so that I can put them into our histories.
Be
I'm
delighted.
pets.
I'm Alabaster.
I'm Tiara Sunfire.
And you, oh person with the whiskers.
The she cat.
Thank you, thank you. So nice to make your acquaintances.
You said you've been here a long time.
We have
Do
been here
you know?
since time began.
Do you know anything about the Sunfires that have a castle to the north?
Sunfires. He spits on the ground and scrubs it out. Yes, I know of the Sunfires, allies of the enemy.
What enemy?
Fair,
That which
hey,
drove the Tarmox into the mountain.
What? Oh, bastards.
Oh, they only allied to protect themselves. You do that when you're under threat of destruction. I don't fault them individually, but they just couldn't they couldn't provide enough support to keep the Tarmox from their doom.
But
Wait, who
I
was the
have a
enemy?
question.
Was it Beta?
Who who did they ally with? What did they ally with? I,
The
I,
the Eldrin, of course.
Uh,
it's the Eldrin that threw back the Terma.
Yeah,
hold up. In meta,
yeah.
is this Eldrin as an elves, or is this the Fae, the Sylphae?
This is Eldar, as in the elves, in particularly the Primus.
Cool. Just checking.
The Tarmox, remember, the Tarmox being the eldest of the section, were trying to protect the human race from entire encapsulation by the elder races,
Okay.
and that was before the rest of the section evolved.
cool.
I am
Do you
trying
like
to
keep
piece
the borders?
together knowledge about the Sunfire.
Well, the best thing probably would be for you to go and excavate the castle that's left of it, find what you want, and then burn it to the ground. As far as I'm concerned, but there's definitely something you probably learn from there.
Oh, we'll probably be
Well, hang on a second.
salvaging that
Stop. I
castle.
might be ahead of myself. Are you wearing the Sunfire's emblem?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, in that case, he wouldn't
Oh
have.
no, I am not wearing the emblem
Okay.
Yeah,
because I
you're
had
sleeping.
no time to make an emblem of it.
No,
And just a
I couldn't
word.
remember whether or not you had had something with it on it. It seemed like you did, and I
No.
didn't want to, because he wouldn't have spoken that way to a Sunfire. He was speaking of them because you asked. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't overstepping.
Only because I have had no time to do anything like make an emblem and copy that
No, I
emblem.
get you. I get you. I just wanted to make sure that I
Yeah.
didn't know whether you had some ancestral something or other. I just was
No, never.
okay. Good.
I
Okay.
mean,
Good. Okay. That's all. So you're getting the unvarnished truth from the PEC's perspective.
and that's fine. It helps me put things in balance.
Right.
And I just don't know the story about the Eldrin's fight against the Tamakians. So
Well, it was actually Tarmakian's fight against the Eldrin for imprisoning mortals.
we have much just to thank the Tarmakians for.
And so do
It
we. That's
seems,
why we have protected this flank of their territory for as long as we have. Not only that, we happen to really like the resources here.
yes, your national security depends on it. She
How do you
smiles.
tame those creatures? They look vicious.
Oh, and Umvarax? Oh,
Just-
they're like anything else. And when they're young, you can make friends with them by feeding them and training them. And yes, they're vicious, and we don't let our children into their pens at night or anything like that. And we certainly wouldn't recommend you trying to capture one on your own, but because the adult ones that are out in the wild are feral and dangerous. But those that are bred for the bit and bridle are essential for our warfighting capabilities. As true
Yeah.
knights of the realm, we have to be mounted. We have to have gone through the ritual
Mount
of the knack.
suitable to your position,
Exactly.
Sun, Sunfire said. Now, I do have a question about the large the largest herd animal out there. Has anybody tried to domesticate them?
No. In the old days, it was a kingly right to hunt them,
Oh,
and so there would be declared days of hunt where the knights would go out and protect the king while he hunted. But
okay. Thank you for the.
as a matter of fact, because of their close affinity with the Tarmaks, most of the people who lived in the valley wouldn't even consider raising herds. It would feel too demeaning to their kinship.
Okay. But you must admit there is a difference between an animal and a sentient thinking being, regardless of what they look
Tell
like.
that to a Tarmak.
It's the same reason that we as humans don't really subjugate monkeys.
Right. Even
Bit
though
too
they can be taught
intelligent.
to do tasks, we don't bring them in and make them servants or drink monkey
Well,
milk or anything weird like that.
Anyways,
Oh well,
lovely
then
to meet you.
Yes, and so glad to see you're not confrontational. And we wish you well while you're on your journeys and look forward to our future negotiations.
Oi, thank you. We do as well.
By the way, will your kingdom have opportunities for perhaps an embassy?
yes.
Absolutely.
Good. We would love to.
Not open borders though. We don't go for that.
Well, we by necessity can't close ours without causing war.
I'm just
So
joking.
I know.
It's the Civ thing. Everyone knows you never do open borders.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
Unless it's with me or
This,
Travis. Fun.
consider this Peck village to be more like one of the friendly villages that we found.
The city states.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. This is a city state fundamentally.
I really have no problem with it being here, so long we can remain on friendly terms. In the meta,
What?
have a problem because
What?
we also have allowed the Fae in here too.
What?
The Fae and the
Don't
Eldrin
tell
aren't the
them
same
that.
thing.
Don't tell them that either.
Yeah, you don't need
I'm.
to say the
You
things.
notice
That's
I
right.
didn't.
Yep, you're right. She only mentioned
It's
it
hard to
in the
tell
meta.
sometimes.
Yep, but she did say it
Okay.
was in the meta, so she's
Oh, I
clarifying that
missed
she
that.
is
My
not going
bad.
to tell them, which is good.
Your fans kind of fading in and out, John.
That's
It's
because I
okay
sat
when you're
back.
talking, but for whatever reason, it
No,
kind of
it's when I sat back.
clears it.
Because when I'm sitting up
Oh,
front,
okay.
I don't. It's just when I put sat back to get a little breeze, I
Hmm.
reveal it.
Hmm.
Alrighty. Give me a second. I got to take care of something. I'm gonna mute myself. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Well, oh, I dee die dee die dee die dee die dee die dee die.
Yeah, if we can facilitate those people moving and help them build a village on this side, um, I
Well,
think
let me
it's the
tell you what I
best
was
thing we
thinking.
can do with for them. And it looks like we have something to take care of in that
I
dungeness keep.
well, fishy for one thing. There's one thing that's different of taking dealing with people's lives. You can't force, your ideas and everything else on them without taking into consideration their situation. So don't just go asking everyone to do this casino, whatever that is, sort of idea you have. Let that be a thing, and then invite people if they want to come. But you don't
You'll
need
be
to have it
able.
built yet.
Besides that, eventually people from Branbury, Bambry will be coming up this way, and you'll probably have crafters and artisans amongst them. I still don't know why you're building a casino amongst primitive, relatively primitive peoples. This is not like you're in a city, but that's in the meta. I just it doesn't really make sense.
If I choose to do it, does that make sense?
What? I mean, a casino is a place of entertainment. Most of these people are on a survival level,
Yeah.
and
Uh-huh.
and when they do have time, they have a harvest festival, a summer festival, a spring festival.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but they don't have time to waste their money in a casino.
Hmm.
A casino is for people who have extra money and extra time and don't have anything else to do. Most people who live off the land need to work every day to live.
Yes. And that's those
That
people
means
who
there's no time to come to a casino or
mm,
money. Remember that most of their stuff is done by trade.
yes. I'm thinking long term, like for our country. You're thinking short term.
Long term, you start with building villages and places where people can live and work and prosper.
Yeah, you can't really do long term like specific stuff until you get the foundations down.
Yeah, we don't even have people in this land except for the few people we found so far and the problems we found,
Maybe
especially
it's like
with this
I have
grim on this island.
this is this idea.
And I want all the grim out of here. I will not
I don't know
tolerate.
if we they're not in our territory though.
They
Yes, it
are.
is. It's in that lake. He's in that on that lake where the three towers are.
All of
Oh,
this
the
is
group.
within our territory and under our dominion.
I thought they were underground.
It doesn't matter
No,
if it's underground or not.
even if they're underground and in our territory, it's our territory.
I mean, like past our territory. Well, okay.
No, no, I
Yeah,
just drew it that way.
yeah.
Whatever. No, it doesn't matter. The Peck are in our territory. They
Yeah.
are our subjects. They are a uh what's the term? A autonomous.
Sovereign autonomy.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Mm,
Sorry about that.
And so long they live within the laws of the land, we can have no problem. You know,
okay.
but that's about all they'll be allowed to.
I will consider your input on what I'll do with my land.
Our land. Remember, we're not dividing it.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Um,
So after the Peck have made their case, they'll withdraw into the night. You'll have the rest of the night uneventfully, and also it means you'll have protection from them during the stay in their territory, so you won't have to worry about night watches per se because the area is patrolled by their troops.
Oh, how very nice.
Mainly because anything that was valuable, they'll want to make sure they protect. So you will, of course, see along the hillside now that you've been made aware, the glint of lights inside of their little houses and such from time to time.
Oh, cool.
Alrighty, so leaving this domain, are we going straight on around to the gate, or and finishing up the
Yeah,
hex?
we're
All right. So
yeah.
coming around that edge, you will find a thicket of forest between here and there that takes up almost. Well, it's centered on that point of the triangle with the three hexes that come together between them. No, next one to the west. Next one to the east. East. There you go. There you go. There you go.
And
Yeah,
what's that?
that's
More force?
yeah, that's forests.
Go right up to the mountain.
Yeah, and um, this forest is thicketed heavily with spider webs and uh, smells and reeks of death. Uh,
Oh, thank you.
yeah, it's an older evil. The forest, the trees themselves are bent and twisted, and you can see faces in the bases of them and such. So
Well, what does that
it's
mean? We'll have to get a Groot in here and help straighten it away.
No, we need a Valer and a Hagrid.
okay, that's what
There are, oddly, there are a lot of open trails leading into that forest. It looks like somebody's done a really good job of tending those trails into the forest.
But who would go into them?
It
Or
doesn't
what
look
would go into
doesn't look
them?
like many have, but the paths are made easy and they're adorned with beautiful flowers and
Oh, yeah, lure you in deeper until they take you. Think of-
Man, you're paranoid.
Well, what would you call it? Wide
He's
open ways into the evilness?
yep,
yeah.
yep,
That's a lure.
yep. It is a lure.
Ah,
It's a good word.
the only other thing is burn the whole forest.
We have each other. There's nothing that can stand in our way.
Look at,
Yeah,
you're
those.
not 20th level and neither am I.
I said we have each other, and there's nothing that can stand in our way. Nothing.
Everything could.
Everything can stand in our way, and then they'll no longer be in our way. Dude, I'm just saying I have confidence in all of us working together.
Yep.
Take the compliment, damn it.
Well, she doesn't feel confident.
Mm.
Right now, we're avoiding the danger spot.
Well, that's okay. We have an entire Scottish army behind us, so we should be fine now.
It's good that that
She muted it. We're good.
Tara has her army.
There she goes. She muted it. Good job. Yep.
I said,
So
I
it's
sent a
clearly,
picture of
clearly a
that.
very scary, dangerous place that tries to make itself appealing.
Uh, yeah, sounds ooh, very cool.
And then you find yourself back at the gate. And while they're not actually intending to build a town here, there are several buildings that they've constructed quickly, kind of not so much lean-tos, but tent-like buildings. But they're big enough to almost hold their own sides up and things like that. It's a like a caravan transfer point.
Let's see how I can. I'm trying to get it so that I can like have like obvious paths into the forest without having
Yeah.
these big, huge gaps.
No, I liked what you did with the little yellow lines. That's fine because of the scale.
I just want to show that they actually go into.
Yeah.
I sent two pictures that like the basic idea like for the lake. What I would like to do. I would love your input. I feel like that would be pretty cool to see on the.
Yep. Both of
Or,
those would be pretty cool. Looks a little bit water worldish.
yeah. So it would be a city on the, or like not a city, like no.
Have you read The Hobbit?
Yes,
He wants to
actually.
make Dale.
He's making
Yeah,
Dale.
that's when I was also thinking of sending a picture of that one because I thought that would probably get you guys like, yeah.
Yeah, you're looking at the city of Dale.
Heave ho, bagpuff, rolling down the hole. Heave ho, bagpuff, roll, roll, rolling down the hole.
Yep.
On her flies on. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha
The other
ha.
thing you could do, Travis, is like you did with the light green there. Make a very meandering S curve, or not very meandering, but a meandering S curve in that light green to show the older river route, because the river is narrowed down to this, but used to be much more likely to breach its banks when it had a bunch of oxbows in it. If you know what I'm talking
So
about.
where at?
All
So
along
this
that
kind of
valley,
like
yeah. Just make it so that it's like the lighter green is a meandering course of an older river with, yeah, with a bump on the other side of about the same. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just let me. I need to fade it in more. Uh, there we go.
Do you know what oxbows when I mean when I say an oxbow?
I do not.
Okay. So let's see if I can find you a picture to give an example.
Sorry, had people at the door, and then Scott's father called him and wondering if he was still alive.
Nice.
So I had to carry the phone out to him.
Gotcha.
We need a lighter green. That's not enough color differentiation. Or paint with a broader brush.
Gotta layer it in. Otherwise, it doesn't look right.
No, but it's too gray of a green. I like the original
I'm
colors.
layering it in, Gene.
Oh, okay.
You see how that looks a little more
Yeah.
natural?
Mm, mm.
Yeah, that looks a lot more verdant now.
He wanted a line that showed the old riverbed.
Yeah, but I don't know where the riverbed is. I need more description on that before I can. So I'm just making the area that the river used to go through a lot more green and verdant. So it
Right.
makes sense that there's a
And
lot
I
of
cannot
groundwater
figure out
there
how
and stuff.
to upload a freaking. They save it as a JFIF, whatever the hell a JFIF is, and I can't open it using GIF opener. So
Just send me a link.
okay.
Did you get the letter my mom sent you?
No, I didn't.
Well, there's your answer, Dad.
What's the,
She didn't get the letter, or she didn't open the letter.
I don't know. I've been going through my mail. I do have a little bit of mail if it's been mailed.
Oh, we're doing so
Jeez.
good.
Yeah.
It was mailed 2 weeks ago, a long time ago.
Impressive.
It's probably attached to an email.
Okay.
So, like, you want a dry riverbed that comes out
I'll
through
show
here?
you. No, no, yeah, no. Actually, I just pulled it up. I just wanted to get it. I'm just now getting it uploaded. Just sorry for that delay. So oxbows are formed when when a river is forming in the springtime and it doesn't know exactly where to go, so it meanders. And then as time goes by, the water breaches each of those bows and leaves the course down the main center, creating tiny little oxbow lakes that eventually evaporate.
Huh.
So just wanted to make the river wider with a few of those. What you've done as far as the lightning is exactly what I was hoping for, and then I just would say put a couple of little blue lakes, the little tiny
Yeah,
oxbows.
yeah. We'll do.
Cool. Yeah, I like the idea of that. Yeah, the old course that failed. Yeah, that's good too.
Okay, continue. I'll keep working on
Alrighty.
it.
So, well, we've finished the circuit, and so the Tarmox are very interested to find out what you have discovered, and also want to kind of keep you updated on what's going on with them. They have basically funded the restoration of the outpost at Banbury, rebuilding the some of the damaged buildings or whatever, at least helping with the funding of that operation. So that's going well. And this is taking you about 2 weeks. So the other thing of note is that the population of Banbury has been infused with a considerable number of humans from the larger cities along the coast. So there's what's the word I'm looking for? A contingent of Tirkunian and not Tirkunian, wrong race. Uh, from Barbas and from not Bergeron. What's the other one on the other side? Mercan that have set up or starting to establish communications and trade. There you go. Thanks.
Did any of them decide to come join us? I know some were considering because of the mining and opportunities and everything.
Right, right. Well, and the Tarmox didn't want to open the that gate until you guys had finished your assay, so you could kind of figure out where you wanted to focus those efforts. Because if you just opened it up, you would have untold numbers swarming in and that would be problematic. You want to try to control that somewhat.
Hmm. We should also talk about the gate that we found and inform them about that.
Oh, the gate into the ground.
Yeah,
The broad stair.
yeah.
Yeah, they're not unsurprised by that, but very pleased that the gate remains closed. They hadn't thought to warn you about it, so they apologize profusely for not not fully apprising you of the situation. But yeah, they're glad you didn't open that gate. That would cause problems.
Ah, what's on the other end?
Well, that the reason why the Tarmox were driven back is that they had actually closed down a processing center for the poltroons of the valley, as the human population was being forced into encampments and taken to the Grim for processing. The Tarmox couldn't
Ew.
stand it, and so they pushed back, and it was in that pushback that they ended up finding themselves at odds with the Eldrin, and before the Eldrin could actually affect the turning of the Tarmakian forces, they were able to close that access point into the Everdark that the Grim were using to process mortals.
Well,
It was at the time one of the greatest slave trade markets on the planet.
hmm. Should we collapse collapse it then? Collapse the mountain face and just make it nice and flat there.
Better the devil you know than one you don't. If you make it impossible for them to access it from their side, um, if you collapsed it or whatever, they would just be able to break the seals and walk out. As it is, they don't know
Ah,
what's beyond that wall, and so they won't come.
ah, okay. I mean, I collapsed the whole tunnel. I meant like,
That's an artifact
but
of
never.
history. I mean, why would you do that when it's a gate that will never be opened?
Okay. I
Wait,
just
we're
wanted to be
sorry.
safe. That's all. That's
Uh,
all.
I had a thing that I was addressing
Okay.
outside. So what was that about the?
Oh, he was asking the backstory of the broad stair from the
Right.
Tarmac
And what was
perspective.
that about?
The Tarmacs, it had been that staircase was in the center of a grim city, and humans were being processed for servitude.
Uh,
The
Ah.
Tarmacs couldn't stand that, being a people of freedom after all the years that they were enslaved and kept in labyrinths and such, that they basically attacked it. When they did, the Grimm called for the aid of the Eldrin, and before the Eldrin could get there, the Tarmac successfully sealed the door their only way how, which was to build a non-magical, virtually indestructible gateway, and therefore they locked the doors on the Grimm. Then the Eldrin showed up and forced them back. For whatever reason, the Eldrin didn't decided to finish raising the Grim city, but not to remove the gate.
hmm.
And so Fishy Cat was suggesting that you just collapse the stair, and the Tarmac standpoint is that if it's held this long, it's probably better the devil you know than one you don't, and if you bury it, they can come up someplace else. This way, at least if they
Uh,
try to make it, you'll know when they try to make the attempt to access the surface again.
okay. I was just thinking, if it was a bad idea, it's a bad idea. Sorry about that.
It's just not one that it just doesn't make sense from their standpoint.
Okay.
Not that you couldn't. It's after they gave you the hex, so you can do what you want. We would not recommend, however, opening the gate and starting trade. That would probably be a really bad idea.
Yeah, no, I wasn't considering that at all. Hmm. So, what did you find on your end? Well, actually, we should.
Oh, I told you we've reestablished Bambree's structure so that they can go back into operation. We made a additional negotiation with the Grim to reduce the burden on people making the Congress through our territories to come to this valley, to make it easier on you guys on your endeavor to populate the zone.
Also, now that I remember, there's these hubs or things out there in our territory that
What?
we need.
What kind of things?
They're like, what do you call them, Travis? They're like,
You took notes on it. You should have notes on it.
I
The
shit.
pecs.
What about the peg?
That's what he's
The
talking
packs,
about.
not the packs, not the packs. The cats. No, what's it called already?
Cats?
Huh?
The bear cats?
Yeah, the bear cats. There you go. Sorry about that.
What about them? They're
There's a lot of
little
them.
little nuisance animals that live along the coast, and they make good eating.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. All right. Well, I
Uh,
was just making sure. Oh, and there's I think there's a troll in the marsh.
Not a troll, but the trolls live up there. Yeah.
Uh,
They were at the time servants of the Fae.
And oh, and there's a fish town or shanty town or something by the river. They're offering to trade fish for wheat.
Oh, good, good. We hadn't gotten that far. We hadn't pursued any trade angles yet. We were still reoccupying our old home lands and trying to find the roots of our old villages and stuff.
It got you busy.
Hmm.
Just like this place will keep us busy for a while.
I imagine so. Especially,
Plus,
especially when you map out that nature trail to hell out there in the center, all those little twists and turns. I can see the little markers. This is where we saw our first bison, and here's where we saw our first.
um, we do have a grim living out on the island in the lake to the west.
Oh, not surprising.
The Dungeness Keep or so it's called.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're familiar with the keep. We didn't go. We didn't, like I said, we weren't going to interfere with your water source there. We were working with our places farther down the river.
Also, the big one is really that there's all these so-called lordships and whatnot that are trying to come in and claim and steal taxes from people and
Well, we haven't been here in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, so there probably are other lords and knights that they claim to the territory. That's
well, I get that, but they're not. They're coming in from the outside and trying to lay claim now. Is
hmm,
the thing.
One of them is a prince of the sea.
I
hmm. Well, we when we
and
talk.
another one wanted to trick us into some sort of contract so that he could own this land.
Huh.
He claimed it as he had a right to it, but he had a contract dated from a time where a contract couldn't exist about this land.
I'm not sure what you
No,
mean about that.
that's not what it was at all. Is that he wanted to trick us into signing said contract so that it would be his land.
Yeah, but also he had a freshly made contract from
No, freshly made map.
freshly made map from a time that saying it came from a time other than when it was made.
Hmm.
Oh,
There's always
whatever.
there's always charlatans, so you're wise to be careful about that kind of thing.
Absolutely, I just know that you and your people have laid claim to the local valleys around ours, and so I wanted to let you know, so that
Oh, I'm
you
sure
know.
that I'm sure that our governors out there will run into those, and take them head on as they would in our inimitable fashion.
Well, I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun to watch.
May I ask why all the forests along that edge of the mountains have been deleted?
Oh, I haven't put them back in yet.
Oh,
I
okay.
was changing their scale. I'm
Yeah.
scaling everything down as we know more.
Yeah, understood.
Oh, but while you're at it, do you know what that path that looks like a trap that like into the forest thing?
Yeah, just to your west,
Again,
southwest. What?
again, since we had bequeathed this space to you, we hadn't done any mapping or anything of this region at all. We headed straight for the bridge and for positions south and north and
Okay.
east,
Well,
north
I
and
just
west,
thought I'd
north
ask
and
see
west.
if you had any information.
Yeah, no, we didn't. We haven't pursued it. I mean, historically, there's supposedly a tower of great magical strength in the depths of that forest. Uh, back in the day, long ago, it was one of our greatest allies was a mortal who had lived longer than his iteration by magical means. I think his
Oh,
name.
in
I
the
think. I
meta,
think his name
Did
was
he have a
Floyd.
name?
I think he was called Floyd.
Floyd.
What?
Oh,
Oh,
Floyd.
Floyd. Well, we don't. I don't know Floyd.
No.
Hmm. Hey, in the meta, should we tell him about the brownies or not?
No, not at this time. I don't think so. I don't know, but I right now
I
I
was asking. Yeah. So what do you think?
counsel no.
Just a moment.
Not until we have like established and know what they're about and everything else.
Right.
Mm.
Because otherwise,
Ugh.
Oh.
Cool. Hex is coming along. Yay.
Yeah, let's zoom out and take a look. I need to do a bit more coloring and stuff of the outside.
Yeah. Yeah, and basically every 2 hexes away from each other should put like little villages and stuff because that's 14 miles. That's about as far as you go in a day or so. With general waypoints or regularly used stopping points between here and the bridge, and between the bridge and the edge of the hex, and between the here and the fjord, and between the fjord and the Sunfire.
Too many listing. Hold on.
Yeah,
Say that again.
I say every 2 hexes towards the fjord. So one between here and the fjord, one between here and the bridge, and then one between the bridge and the wall of the hex. Going west, yeah.
What do you want me to place there?
Markers for waypoints,
Ah.
places that
Okay.
would be used on a regular basis on travel. They're not really towns yet.
Yeah, I'll put like a circle of tents or something.
Yeah.
See what symbols I got to work with.
Yeah, I figured you'd find something. But anyway, just to have something as to show regular stopping points, those will eventually become the nodes that become your towns.
If I put my headphones down, why does it unpin? I mean, unmute. Why does it mute?
I muted you because, despite the headset being laid down, we were still able to hear you talking.
Oh, that's strange. I was in another room.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's loud and there's not much else going on.
Oh, okay.
And I just didn't want
Kind
anything
of like that.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Okay. You know that forest is so close to where the pecks are. Perhaps we can enlist the help of the pecks to go into that area
There might
eventually
be
when we
reasons
get.
why they haven't.
Now, there might be reasons why they haven't, but maybe we should find out what those are so we can be forewarned and forearmed.
Forearms, you look dangerous.
What are those orangey spots?
Those are the encampments about every mile, every hex and a half or two should be where like waypoints are made where people camp on a regular basis because it's about how far you
Oh,
make
oh,
it on a day's travel. There's not really roads yet, so they're not as smooth. So you would stop every so often to camp. Take, clean out your wash basins and eat an actual cooked meal or whatever before you head on the road again.
we're going to have to make another bridge down here lower.
Now we'll schedule a meet and greet.
We can get rid of that. Yeah.
So it's 4 o'clock, unfortunately, and so we're gonna have to call it quits for the day.
Okay.
But you guys can I want to thank those of you that in our viewership that are watching us. Thank you very much for being here with us. We'll definitely catch you the next time. Realize we're on every day at 1 o'clock. Usually we're doing something, and of course, watch Iteration Nation. Usually Fridays and Saturdays we play something online. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next time. Bye.
See you later.
Drifter says hi and bye. He's been here the whole time.
Hi. Hi, hi. Bye bye. I hope to